Darkwings onto that Azir. So their responses so far are to show their carries before they get into anything else, and now they're going to have something big later on to deal with this teamfight prowess that DSG have locked in.
Really like the Wukong ban at Will. That is his best win rate and most played champion in his career. As Will, very, very good on the Wukong. It really fits the team fight identity, synergizes well with the Rakan, whereas AoE targeting the 80 mid laners from Young, as Yone has taken off the board. And then that affiliate that I was teasing that could have been a potential pickup for Meech on 2-3 there on blue side will be denied as well.
So one more ban for DSG. As they did ban the jungle pull once. Let's see if they go for it again and just try and really take away everything.
I would take away Viego. I think Viego lines up decently well here. But no, actually going to take away one of the meatballs that Concept really likes. And no Scion for him. Likely that we see the response to top lane here. As Concept could easily go for something like Cassante in this matchup. If he wants it, it does suffer against Rumble early, but you can scale. Or we know he loves that Mundo. You can farm at range against the Rumble. Could be an option, but oh, curious. The Ivern for Will, very different considering what we are used to seeing from AoE.
Yeah, he's only played it one time during the regular season thus far, so not really the standard for Will that we know. We know him to be more on engagers, such as Sejuani that was locked in earlier and the Wukong that got banned earlier, but can provide at least elongated shields throughout these team fights. The longer they go, the more use he can really get out of this Ivern.
Thematically, it fits what you want to do against Rumble, using the shields to just run away and try and reset a fight. But DSG continue to pile on. They already have that big engage that you talked about between Rel, Rumble, and Sejuani. Why not pile on an Akali on top of that?
Good morning.
I should say a Jinx to get resets, and then an Akali on top is Young.
Dude, I almost overslept.
He's very comfortable on Akali, especially in this matchup. Is yet to drop a game on Akali this split.
Here we go. DSG versus AoE.
So does have a pretty decent pool of games to really just speculate on how well he can really pull out this Akali. But great for him to have it, as well as
how are we looking here?
Is it 6.0 KDA that he has on that champ? Big one right there. But final lock in for AoE. Gonna take the Cassante.
I thought small chance we could see an Ornn in the top
side. Oh, why am I showing so much skin? Ooh, scandalous.
But honestly, for AoE, I feel like they have to really lean on the Xayah Rakan bot lane to try and get push early. I don't like how this matchup sets up for them throughout the game. Ivern doesn't really have great targets to shield in this game. It's not like you have shield play that backline.
Ooh, man.
Guys, the power that they're going to
DSG versus AoE.
The early topside fights is going to be really tough for AoE to deal with. AoE needs to scale, get a couple items under their belts, so they can try and eat the Rumble ult, and then move on from there. But the damage coming out early on from Rumble, Akali, and then the Jinx. Jinx is the late game insurance. But the damage early for this guys on top side is significant, and something that AoE will have to be very wary of.
DSG have something big for pretty much every stage of the game. I really like this for DSG. All it takes is one kill, one reset from Meech, and the ball is rolling for DSG, and they have so many ways to really set this up. As we head into our second series of the day, remember this is a double elimination bracket. DSG versus AoE. Type in chat who you want to win. DSG for disguised, AoE for area of effect. But now ready to hit the map and see who's going to proceed into round 2 of the upper bracket.
Disguise hoping that AoE proceeds into their Raptor camp. Has played a devious little trap that doesn't look like AoE is wary enough to fall into. Good sign. But Fake God will have to make his way to the top side and see Tomio work his way to the top so we can play around both of his melee solo lanes. And want to see if they can pressure Darkwing's mid. As I've seen a lot of junglers, especially in the LCK, just show their face mid to get Azir to burn an E. And a lot of that is to take mana away from the Azir. Really helps out in this matchup that Young has proven time and time again that he's very comfortable playing, as his team fighting on Akali and melees in general. When he is free to take angles, I think Young fights very creatively. But at the moment, this cheese will be spotted. Darkwing's wise to it. Some nice chip damage early.
A little bit of it gets returned by Young. And one of the big voices on Disguised has been Zazel. In fact, we kind of want to hear from that voice right now. His thoughts on his opponents from AoE.
I think that we'll beat them pretty easily. I expect a 2-0, maybe 2-1 if we're really, you know, jittery or trolling. And in our favor, of course.
That's confidence right there for you. 2-0. Well, you know, kind of a little bit pulled back on it when he said the 2-1 right after, but still like it. Still like it. Said it's going to be easy, Cubby.
I mean, he forgot to, you know, talk about Misha's ping there. I feel like Misha's ping might be at 900 now. That could also factor into a 2-1. Who knows? Maybe the next time we hear from it, it's 920. You never really know. Yeah.
We were fighting over our ping warrior of the game. I think Meech deserves a spot more than Masu.
So surprisingly enough, Tomio actually working his way towards the bot lane to try and support. Now he does have push bot from the Jinx, whereas for Will, it's going to be that full clear on the Ivern, so you prep your camps.
He's very
on one
confident.
side. He actually went for the 6 camp clear, so I know Spica said that you can do this in like 2:56. I think Will's going to be a second or two late for that, but still very nice from Will to make sure that he is cleared up. And now can impact the map, so he can go hover mid and then play for likely the topside crab.
At the same time, you have Tomio, who's going to end up in the bottom side. Is pinging over towards the brush, but a concept caught out underneath.
Yes!
One more rocket, it lands flush. Fake God.
I was really worried that he's gonna miss that
Is
last
first round robin fake God showing
that
up.
rocket.
He was such a beast in the first round robin.
That's what we
Ends up
needed.
preemptively
Oh
flashing
my
to
god,
make
what's
sure he
going
gets
on with
all
my
the
hair?
overheat auto attacks possible. Big solo kill for him in the top side, as that will give this guy's really something to lean on. As Rumble very oppressive in the earlier stages of the game here. That's Rux, and thank God if he gets ahead. That Rel Rumble combo, we've seen Disguise use it to great degree in challengers, and it's really tough for AoE to deal with early.
And this is going to get a little terrifying earlier on, because Concept hasn't been doing too well in the top side throughout his laning phases, has kind of clutched into the team fight phase to be more impactful for AoE. But as I was saying before, Fake God takes advantage of these leads that he's able to pick up. Giving a lot of gold to him is a really, really bad idea, and Disguise might be reaping that quite soon.
That is Socks versus a Blasting Wand top. I'm going to favor the Blasting Wand, as Rumble will be able to push on the turd. Will spotted showing mid. Young going to hover the correct side of the lane, as he's a bit wiser to it. Starklings will get the cannon creep. That's a +1.
What was one jungles we originally considered?
Right, we're excited about cannon creeps.
I think if we couldn't get Tomio, we
really
were
nothing
gonna
else
get
that
Will.
AoE can do
So
in
I know
the
he's
early
pretty good.
stages of the game.
He goes to Korea like every year apparently to just practice for
a little bit wary
4 months.
Will is at on the map,
And then he comes back to the States and plays for 4 months. And then goes to Korea for 4 months.
A bit slower, because you have to, you have the prep time, you have to go back, you have to prep it again. Ivern has a lot of freedom after he's done with the first clear to impact the map. And Disguise and Zazel respecting that timer really nicely, so I really like what happened there from Disguised and bot lane.
So now in the early stages of this game, nothing really to come of it. It's always good to bring up some of the history of how these teams have performed. But both in the first round robin and the second round robin, these were 1-1 games. These were ties.
We have
so
to beat
This is why I get
AoE.
kind of excited to actually
They stole our team colors. We're supposed to be yellow and black.
The big damage, who's going to be the big squad on deck right now. And so far with this early game, it is a good start for Disguise. Mario double elimination.
It's really tough right now for AoE. They're just trying to snag whatever they can farm-wise. I think AoE, they need time to scale. Because Meech in this lane, Jinx into Zyrakan, if you do not get all in, you're going to have push as you are the Jinx. Fakegod has that kill on the top side. He has push up top. And then Young, somewhat matching Darkwings in push, because Darkwings is trying to keep that wave in front of his turret so he can farm safely and harass Young. Yeah. So it really gives Will nowhere to go and nothing to do. So you can see Will just kind of hanging around, seeing if he can at least spot anyone, do some scouting for his team, but he's a little bit behind the Sejuani on camps, doesn't have any items yet, and AoE are just kind of chilling until they are actually able to get, I'd say, 2 or 3 items under their belt where they might have an opportunity. Besides bot lane, if bot lane is able to get anything done. So it's really the one place we're gonna look for AoE.
AoE during the regular season, when they were having that boost of momentum that came out in the second round robin, Disguised were one of the teams that were able to at least stop.
Ooh, big damage.
AoE were kind of surmounting.
I think this is
Nice
one of
to
the
have
first
that
time
on
I've
the record to show
seen
that they
Meech
are
play
capable to take
Jinx.
on
I'm not
AoE
sure if we
when
busted
they're
him
pretty
out
much
during
at their
the
best.
regular season.
Of course, still waiting for that first play to come out of Tomio, who does focus onto this top side right now. Will on the bottom side of this top river. Now walking towards them. Tomio
Ooh, big gang, big gang. Yeah, nice, Rumble. Here
Can he
comes.
get it in time? The
Nice.
answer is
We
no.
had to
Tomio
use
will
a
take down
lot
Concept.
there.
Easy.
Like, we had to
peasy
use
for
the
the side
flash in
of
addition
Disguise. Concept
to
gonna have
the
take
2
walk of
ults.
shame
I
back
thought we
to
were
lane.
just gonna
It'll be a
get it
Rift
with
Herald
maybe
setup
like
now
one ult,
for Disguised
maybe
Friends,
2 ults, but
Tommy's gonna get the bad
2
news.
ults and a
He dropped
flash.
camp on this
Cassandra is just so tanky.
It got burned away from him. It's Tomio cute time again. Yeah, it is playoffs Tomio. I really feel like Tomio this split has scaled Deserux. I think that Tomio, it feels like his team around him isn't as strong as that Cloud9 Challengers team were with Diplex and Lost. There's a little bit less experience between Young and Meech, but it feels like Tomio has kind of grown within that system. I feel like he has made better decisions this split and has had more moments where it feels like Tomio is the difference maker as to why they're winning instead of Tomio just leaning on his lanes that are already winning to win harder.
Yeah, that
Ooh.
was the Tomio of old. Used to just rely on those lanes to kind of snowball ahead. And while it's easy to look good as a jungler when your lanes are already winning. So that was the kind of question posed coming into this summer. How good is Tomio? How is he going to really work the map now that his lanes have been slightly downgraded to that regard? And I mean, he's looking good as it was. He's improved a lot in the season, as you did say, and still showing that on display with that pathing that he was able to get. Kill over onto that top side, and now stealing away the camps of Will in the process.
Yeah, so with both ults being used top side to find that kill for Disguise, they do drop the Rift Herald. I must say, that's a small win here, as I think the top side power between the Akali, the Rumble, and the Sejuani is very deadly for AoE. So the fact that Will was actually able to sneak that one away, that's a good play coming out of AoE. Now, what can they get done with the Rift Herald? Because if they don't get much done, then they already lost out.
Oh,
further behind.
they're Rakan tried.
That's the real question. I kind of want to see the Herald drop mid to try and take this outer away from Akali. You can see Darklings nearly has that first point secured on his lonesome, as Young's been hanging in there in this matchup. But Darklings going to do some nice work here in the lane, and actually going to force Young back.
At the same time, he gets the call from Breezy, who shows up in the mid lane to make sure that this wave is going to get pushed in and that he can claim this plate.
Yeah.
Able to secure it right there. Young doesn't go for the recall, doesn't want to miss out on this wave, but Darkwings will punish you for it. Still able to clean up and get back to base.
Those I'm thinking on starting League. Should I? No, save your mental.
Much better. In the mid lane, you miss a lot less creeps as the tower does tank up cannon. So Young, okay with that. But DSG.
This is why League is dying in NA. Anytime someone asks, hey, do you think I should start playing League of Legends? No one says yes. League players, they definitely do not recommend playing League.
Points away from the Akali. Could be another play going over to Darkwings as this turret gets low. And we're gonna wish they had that Ziggs.
You gotta be a real sicko to play League.
Ziggs there would have meant that tower fell.
Unfortunately, no detonation available for AoE there, so tower's still going to be up, but it shows you that there is gold getting onto Darklings. You did just finish that Leandries off of that back, teleporting right back into lane. We'll have at least
TFT. Yeah, TFT is surprisingly nice.
Can continue to try
in terms of the
pressure
players in the
lane,
lobby.
shove that wave through, and
like occasionally
a few more plates. In the meanwhile,
you get some
DSG
whining
set
babies about RNG,
towards
but
the, dragon.
for the most part,
Tomio's
everyone I
already
meet in TFT have been like
And this is gonna fall for
chill.
to Disguise. I would be surprised if AoE contested this. I think Meech is really strong right now. But, okay, they are sneaking over.
What they need? Oh, here we go. Big dragon fight. They want it. We're TPing in. Kasante's TPing in too. We're going straight in for the Ivern. Rakan's trying to deal with ads. Nice.
DSG obliterated AoE, And Young
Oh,
follows
Young's trying to
through for
go.
a bit more. Just a taste. The dragon secured by DSG.
You know, I felt like
Good
Zazel
pick.
went early because I saw the Rumble TP coming in. I'm like, oh, you're burning Magnet Storm before Equalizer. Like, that's, you know, could have happened. But no, Zazel knew. It was just one-shot will time. Take the jungler out of the equation.
Yeah,
as
taking
he was
out the
able to take
Ivern
up with
right
the
there was
choppers
so
from Meech.
big.
Beautiful
That was
play
a
from
good
Disguise. They find
look
the
by
team
the
fight
team.
win, find the neutral objective, and continue to push their lead ahead.
It hurts so much, man. That Equalizer placement coming out from Fake God right on the escape route.
Real nice.
You cut out the rest of AoE from having an impact in the fight. They're flashing away even to get out of that Equalizer in the first place.
Look at Will.
And you're
This is the pick that matters.
as
Look at
Zazel
that.
just splits
Zazel
the
with the
fight,
engage
brings
allows
Tomio,
Tomio to
choppers
come
nice as
out,
well.
gets the stun,
Rocket angled
and now
around
they're fighting
Breezy,
without.
then the Equalizer comes
Rakan
down.
goes
Nice
on
AoE
the
on
Jinx,
fire.
but it's too late already, right? That
Darkwing's
Zaya wasn't
never
in
able
a
to
great
get
position
involved
either.
in that fight, and the power of Disguise, we talked about it in the draft SRX. You can see it now.
Like,
this is a comp where
that engage by
Rumble
Zazel is
Akali
so
early
good.
game, really
It
tough for
essentially
AoE to
says
deal
we're
with.
starting to
Them
fight
taking that
now,
fight there ends up being
and because you're not in
unsafe, they get roasted.
position, you're not
Right.
gonna have a good
As you
time.
can see right there, Darkwings rolled a lot of it coming out from him. A lot of that coming out from the Rift Herald that was placed earlier. He has cashed in on quite a bit of plates. But it does bode something for AoE, because keep in mind, Azir scales really well into the late game. We'll give some presence over to AoE to try and take some fights for later, but that is the only thing going well at the current moment. As you can see, the rest of DSG are right behind him.
Yeah, taking a look at the inventories, we do see Will going for the Shirelias instead of the Moonstone. This is to actually get out of that Equalizer and some of the upfront combos and damage that Disguise has. So, opportunities for AoE there. But at the moment, lanes are being shoved in, favor Disguise, and AoE. We'll see what else they end up leading here. As long as Fake God is involved in these fights, Destructs, it feels like any fight they find an Equalizer in is going to go there.
Nice, Tomio. Ah, stupid Rakan.
Hard engages, able to chase away Breezy for the time being, but it shows you that DSG at the moment feeling a little bit bloodthirsty at around the same time that the Rift Herald will be spawning.
Nice chunk. I think that DSG on that engage that Tomio threw out, I get leading with ult against Rakan.
Hey, Toast, is the Logitech headset comfortable? Some people say it was
Synergy
uncomfortable.
there with Zazel. I think that there is a goal where they could have maybe.
I'm not
gone to
sponsored
kill,
by
but
them,
either
so
way,
I will refrain from
force
saying anything.
Breezy into base, and
That's fine for me.
full control over the top side, given the push that Fake God has, the wards that they have down as Disguise just looking to take that second Herald.
It's a wireless headset.
Sure it's
It
favored towards
works.
them. And it should be given
I don't feel
the champions and the
uncomfortable.
builds and the items that we have on the map right now.
And I would say that, I mean, this isn't like super expensive, right? It's
Trying.
like, what, 70 bucks? 60
And they're
bucks?
going to try around Rift
It's
Herald
no,
this
like,
time.
it's not like a
It's gonna be dangerous.
Bose.
Keep in mind, Fake God Equalizer.
Wireless
We saw what he
headset.
did last time with it, and it
It's
does
a
look like
Logitech
DSG are not going to let this go without
gaming
a fight.
gamer
Tomio
wireless
steps up. He
headset.
doesn't have ultimate, so that
It
is the
does
tricky
its
part
job.
right now for DSG, and that's exactly
Oh, they're
why
getting it.
AoE will go for it.
All right, that Young was basing and was going to maybe TP in. He's got Proto Belt in the
I have no
inventory, but
complaints.
Instead, he sticks it in the bot lane. This will lead to Concept now TPing down, so they burn Darkwing's TP to get the
Uh-oh.
second.
Get out of there, Young!
They burn Concept TP to make sure that he's set up for success, and now Concept.
Never mind, don't get it. Get in there, Young!
Concept took too much damage, which means right now DSG will.
Sorry, did I say
straight
get
up
out
go
of
for the
there?
dive
I
and
meant
clean
get
this one
in
up, and
there.
It's Young grabbing the kill.
Really well done by Disguise. I love the cross map answer. We talked about it.
He
all
thought
the
he was
time,
gonna
Disguise.
have a 1v1
He
against
decided to
Akali, and then the
drop
whole
objective
squad
early.
rolled up.
You have more time to try and respond across the map, and Disguise did so beautifully there. As Young makes sure that that tower doesn't take him down. Instead, he gets the objective. It will be a trade, but overall, Disguise still building upon their gold lead.
And building a lot of that gold over to Young at the same time. A very, very capable player was offered at least to be a substitute over for Golden Guardians, and passed up on it. Wanted to play the game, wants to prove himself on the Rift more than anything else. Look at this, already a great start for DSG Young.
Yeah, I remember talking with Golden Glue about that week one. He's like, you know, that fired me the hell up too. Like, Golden Glue was in those positions throughout his career. He got back to that Cloud9 roster, where it was the Swole Bros, or Jensen plus Blabber. They actually subbed in to like find reverse sweeps in playoffs. It was really important to the success of C9 in that split. The fact that, you know, he's like, hey, like, I gotta give this guy everything I can, right? Like, he passed up money to play. Like, that's belief in yourself, man. And I feel like that really does sum up Young. confidence that he plays with when he does get his melee champions that I feel like he's really made a name for himself on. He plays with confidence, and that goes a long way for himself and Disguise.
It's taken them to a 5-0 lead right now, 1.7k to their favor. But as it is, Disguise not looking for the setup. They rather go for the side lane play instead. And going to be able to take that turret. More solo gold coming onto Young. Ooh, unfortunate for AoE right there. They juggled the aggro in the wrong way. That results
Can we steal this? Can we steal this?
Taking a little bit more time to take down this dragon. Almost had a window to steal.
NT. All good.
Those gonna Shirley's on out of there, and no one has dealt with Young yet in the top lane, so more gold going towards that Akali. Usually you want to take fights as Akali around that proto belt spike. You get very strong, but Young being funneled so much, not quite able to take down that inner turret, but still, given what DSG has sacrificed to get Young gold, I feel like all of our eyes have to be on Young and his undefeated Akali to see if he can cash in on what his team has granted him by dropping these last two neutrals and making sure that Young is just farming sideways uncontested.
And he's still farming it, not taking the recall just yet, even after that brick he got over onto the top side. So I'm curious just how fat his pockets are. You should have a big purchase on this next recall. Or not, 800, never mind.
We'll work towards
overhead.
Shadow Flame. Most likely. That's what I expect. Yeah. Gonna be the call. He's gonna get the Ruby Crystal instead, get some control ward. Team player.
Not the
Oh, a pickety pick.
Back to the bot lane.
Pickety pick. No.
I got control ward, Gary. Playing for Vision.
Oh god, my stomach's acting up.
Who didn't buy forward? It was Zamudo. Yeah.
Yeah. He was a bit. He's
What did I
LS
eat
build
yesterday?
on that one, for sure.
But fortunately, Young. We'll put down that control.
Some really shady hot
puts our
pot.
mid laners down in the bot lane while at the same time AoE playing the.
Honestly, I don't think I cooked on the meat all the way through.
Oh,
but there's a big fight going on.
They'll find it, but not find anything else with it. Teleport comes out in AoE empty-handed.
Really tough.
Why did I eat raw Asian meat?
Chunk's nice, but AoE commit a lot of resources, and it's not like they can play towards any neutral objective. As Baron spawns in a minute, so by doing that, they just give DSG time to shove in sides as Big God gets enough.
There's no way this game ends in 5 minutes, right?
So another inner falls, and DSG continue to push this gold lead forward.
Like, we have a big lead, but there's no way this ends in 5 minutes.
With that teleport coming out of Dark Wings, it means he can no longer contest in the bottom lane. So Young's just going to stay there for a little bit longer. Crash another wave right into that tower. Dark Wings getting late. It's DSG who got the wave states pretty much into their hands.
And props to Disguise. It's been a slower game and approach from them, but they still have all the power when they want to sync up. I think that when Rumble hits the second item with the Tali, they should be ahead of the second item spikes from AoE. And that's when this guy's going to push really hard, I think, for the next objective. As you can see, IE already in the inventory of Meech. And you got to believe that when these two soul laners reset, they're going to have a Proto Belt, or a Rocket Belt, I should say, for the Rumble, and a Shadow Flame for Young, respectively. So that's going to be a really scary spike for AoE to deal with. And I want to see Disguise try and push that as hard as they can to punish AoE at the next neutral objective.
Definitely believe that they can, and they will be looking for it soon enough. The resets are just that much more desirable for DSG to actually go for these fights and try and take down AoE. They set up in the mid lane while dancing around over in the top side. You have Zeyzal kind of leading the rest of the group. And now it's going to get more challenging. The more this Jinx scales up, the more a threat she's going to become for the team fights, not just for that, but also trying to take away some of these objectives. The Jinx Gatling gun brings a lot of DPS for DPSing down both these dragons. The Baron, if left alone. And now DSG are putting the presence felt over on this top side while keeping Young to that side lane in the bottom.
And Meech is going to sack those mid waves, as both of the solo laners of Disguised are showing. They do get those waves in successfully, and now we'll reset. And this is where I expect Disguised to be, potentially at their strongest. You can see there it is. Rocket Belt for Rumble. Shadow Flame for the Akali. And this is where I really expect Disguise to take a fight. Honestly, want to see AoE see this. As AoE, they don't have the firepower to contest with what Disguise is showing their inventory right now. They should find a pick or bust. They do not win the 5v5.
Yeah, Tomio's not even taking that much damage right now. He was able to take that on the chin and just walk right on out. And DSG posture up around the river. Dragon spawns in 20 seconds. AoE might not concede this. They're posturing like they want to contest Cubby.
Was that Shirelia's burn there by AoE? Because that's tough if that one's gone. AoE, they can get mid-prio with the burn, brushes, and the Azir as they rip down that wave. But DSG, they aren't seeding this dragon hit yet. They're trying to hold the line of vision to the best of their ability as Young lands it back with risk. Is spotted. Watch out for Fake God and Zeyzal. Zeyzal's gonna flash, and here we go.
Onto Tomio.
Yep.
They're not getting that much damage onto Tomio, but the engage for DSG finding its mark, and there's Fake God flashing over the wall. Gets caught out by the all-out, but Breezy's too low, and Fake God might just look for the delivery in that direction. Dark Wings called down by Meech's Rocket and Concept. Breezy too low to continue the fight. It's DSG getting 3 unanswered.
That was so clean. I'm not even excited about it, man. DSG just made that look way too damn easy. The equalizer from Fake God, it was massive as it roasted everyone in that choke above the dragon pit. AoE had to head for the hills immediately and never even got solid footing in this fight. Look at this combo. We're just waiting for flash on Zeyzal. Fake God's gonna follow up upon it. Look at the damage the equalizer gets down on the back half. This is so well placed from Fake God as they get half of Link's health before he's even able to go up in the air. And look at the retreat. Will, Concept, Darkling's all just getting toasted and roasted here by that equalizer. As Disguise, man, you're toasting people on the Rift. It's an honor of the owner. Making sure that AoE can't get anything on the map as they just never got to play that fight. And Disguise continue to push their lead forward.
And I loved it because we saw a moment from Young there, able to anticipate the disengage. Flashes, continues the fight. Now DSG will continue it around the Baron. It's been called by AoE Gold, and they're committing to it right now, but they're funneled right into that choke point at the same time that the equalizer's coming off cooldown. And here comes Fake God. He's gonna burn them all down, even with the secure on the Baron. It's doomsday for AoE. Failed the damage, failed the burn. DSG full ace.
Yeah, I feel like the burn felt the burn there as DSG, they toast him once again. That's another big equalizer from Fake God. And yeah, Baron is secured by AoE, but it's immediately wiped off the map. And how much can DSG get out of this? It's at least going to be the top lane inhibitor turret, and Meech is going to rip through mid as well.
You don't fight when you're corralled, and there's a rumble waiting with an ultimate, Cubby.
This is a tough game for AoE. I really don't think they can get anything done. We saw that they just didn't really have the plays to engage in the earlier stages of the game. And now I think the idea was just, hey, burn Baron before their cooldowns come back up. Well, they didn't burn it quite fast enough. And that's what happens when you aren't able to take things down. As it was a second item, Banshees for Darkwings. I think that given the amount of magic damage and some of the skills you have to dodge out on, that is somewhat warranted from the Azir. But Azir doesn't do any damage until he gets Nashers. So really no chance to burn down the Baron there, as now we are going for a Hail Mary onto Meech. This is a big angle from AoE. Concept is still not spotted.
Not spotted, but he's not in the place to be to make this Hail Mary actually work out. So coming up empty-handed, DSG will pull away and already denying everything that AoE try and set up. They don't get the setup on a Meech. Before that, they try the Baron, and even with the secure,
well, up 12 kills?
Get wiped off the map. This has been a very controlled game from DSG. 6.2k in the lead. The calls are just right, and especially these solo laners. Fake God putting down the equalizer.
I ran back as soon as I could. I didn't even wipe.
It's all coming together, and it looks so nice for DSG.
It looks nice? What did we do?
And this has just been clinical game one, Desterux. Like, it really feels like AoE just never really had an opportunity to get in this game. And I gotta credit Disguise from top to bottom. I mean, Fake God got the solo kill. Top lane was over right then.
Guys, I didn't wipe because I used the bidet.
Every single resource into the Akali. What has he done in the team fights? He has destroyed. And then Zeyzal and Meech, they went out of the lane. Zeyzal's been the one that's starting all the parties. And we just can't deal with it, man. It's just over the top damage from the equalizer.
I blasted
combo way too much as the Ivern not enough to deter the upfront damage from DSG and AoE. Going to continue to be on the back half as they're going to bleed out this first game.
Yeah, Fake God's pretty beastly at this champion, and it keeps stopping team fights that AoE are looking for right in its tracks. Fake God putting on
Look at
hell of a
Zazo, man. He's
performance
just
so
walking
far.
up with no
You
fear.
gotta give credit even to the older players. You know, this tier 2 space isn't about young rookies to develop fresh talent.
Yes.
It's a big part of it, sure, but also giving a second chance to players like Fake God to really show their stuff. And right now, Fake God is definitely putting it all on display, Cody.
No, I love that you say
There's
that,
a best
man.
of
There
two,
have
a
been
best
so
of three,
many
best of
success
three.
stories
Now that we're in
LCS
playoffs, it becomes
about
best of
players
three.
who were pros and have still been in the system and come back to LCS much better. I mean, thinking of Insanity has been a huge win this split. Dokla in the past, even Shime as well. It really feels like Fake God. We were setting him up to be in that category.
Ooh,
Strong second
-1.
round robin to match what was just a beastly first round robin from him, but to see him show up in playoffs just like he did in last split as well, as he took that, the championship home with Cloud9 Challengers. It's good to see, man, in this first game, as Disguised 30 seconds away from securing Soul for themselves.
Young's having a
AoE.
pop-off game.
Doesn't look like they're even going to contest, man.
6-0.
They're fixing the
Honestly,
top lane,
everyone's
so-
doing great this game.
Nope. And if they try, they're gonna die. Look at Young. He just finished that Rabadon's death cap. That's 524 AP for DSG's mid laner right now. This Akali, if he gets on Dark Wings, if he gets onto Lynx, you blink and you miss it, they will be dead.
I really hope we win this season.
I'm gonna blink.
I think if we win, we can make an argument
You gotta-
to push for
no,
LCS
no.
next year.
You blink,
I
you
know
miss,
I'm shooting for the
Young
stars
jumps on
here.
the party, and they're dead.
Oh,
But if we
I
win,
thought you meant
we
the Ocean
might-
Soul, it's gonna carry, 'cause Ocean Soul's
not
gonna
necessarily
carry this game,
Riot
no?
gives us a spot,
You know what?
but
That's
maybe
a
we
pretty
can
good
partner
transition. I
up
like
with
it.
an
I like it. We'll go
existing
with it.
LCS team
Ocean
that
Soul
doesn't
is
want to
just
stay in
state of mind.
LCS
It's not good. It doesn't
necessarily,
matter this game. It's fine.
like TSM.
But you know, it's
Yeah,
not
but
fine.
it's a state of flow.
It is. It's serenity.
And pretty much just completely zenned out after these DSG. They're playing this
It's-
confident coolness.
Probably how Toast feels right now, co-streaming from Thailand, man. He feels like he's on vacation. He's got no stress in this game.
And he can't miss the 2-0 this time, if it ends up being that way.
Ah, true.
All right, the siege coming out for DSG. And look at that flank set up by Young. There's no inhibitor over there, so they can just keep posturing. Breezy, that deep flank that Breezy's known for is going to be so much harder to pull off against a team that's 6.6k gold ahead of you.
I filmed the interview with them. I wonder if they showed it before the game started.
Iron Brushes, at least, is somewhat slowing things down. I feel like that increases the serenity on the Rift, though. You know? We got Ocean Soul, Iron Brushes. We're just chilling, man. The whole Rift's the jungle.
They showed it before the first
We
series.
got all playoffs to
They did?
get super
Not yet.
We can
Did they?
take a siesta every now and then.
2 hours ago? Why are they showing an interview 2 hours ago?
As, again, AoE.
Where's
got
TSM
behind
moving
early.
their org to? I have no idea, man.
And dictating the engages, the pace. Ocean Soul secured. Siege. 2 inhibitors now opened up. As
I assume
DSG have
TSM has got
on
that
their way to
China
rush,
connect.
As they have taken over the jungle of AoE.
Oh, Tomio with the
There's
engage.
Equalizer
Zazo
once
with the
again.
flash
Concept
in,
flashes
try and
the
get the
other direction,
Cassante.
away
Didn't get
from the
anything
burn.
though.
The rocket lands, Concept's alive.
I think we're
Inhibitor goes
just,
down. Meech is able to
yeah.
grab it.
I guess we just pushed him off to take that hit, go for the Baron.
AoE losing no one else, but DSG headed into a certain direction where I see a big purple worm waiting on the rift.
I mean, 2 flashes burned by both Will and Concept. So that's something that with the next round of ultimates up to DSG, they can work to contest. Is at the moment they don't want to start Baron while those ultimates are down, so they're just looking to protect the vision line and see if AoE overcommits.
Oh, Young. Young, right there. He's waiting. He's in the wings. Breezy hasn't spotted him, but we'll see him just now. Jerk can flip onto the other side. They will just pass like ships in the night, and now the 5v5 battle lines are established. Pulled in, Zazel, Concept, stepping it forward. Both of these front lines ready to swing.
Daisy's getting focused down. As one of the iterations of seeing a lot of Ivern play is that we have seen Daisy be the focus and be hit early on in team fights, giving the strength to Daisy. I've even seen Blitzcrank emerge as a response to something like Ivern. So you can hope Daisy.
Oh, Young, look out. They know you're there.
Taking things away. This is spotted by DSG. Will is hiding. He doesn't have flash. He's gonna have
Wait.
to Tomio and then a hero in.
He's going for it right now. Tries to get
Oh,
the steal, but can't secure it. Tomio
sorry,
will
that
get the
was-
Baron instead. Now Breezy
We
on
did the
reach, Ember's
50-50.
Divine
We didn't even
comes
have a
out.
pink in
Dark Wings
the
makes
pit.
space necessary to escape, but the
scary.
Baron secured by DSG and a jungler down for AoE.
Taro Baron buff for Disguise. They're going to look to sprint this one home for the finish. As Will gone, Ocean Soul on DSG, there's nothing else you're looking for. It's about vacation time. And that's where you can find your Turo rentals, maybe vacation. Looks for a lot of things as DSG looking to start their vacation. Using the Turo Baron buff to make sure they can march through the base. Concept.
Trying to speed this up. Concept slow under the tower. Young goes godlike, and Darkwings putting the soldiers through, telling the rest of them to protect their Emperor, defend these lines, don't let these structures fall. Meech gets the zap onto Lynx, who gets taken out. Another shot goes
Here
through.
comes the KDA farming. Oh, Meech is dead. Hang on.
The same way they did with the rest of AoE. Now spawning off the respawn, you got plenty of health, but you don't really got a Nexus to work with. The Equalizer comes down once again. Fake God goes golden, but
Oh
Young
my God,
begins to
Young
make
is
heads
cleaning
roll.
up
Double
there.
kill for Young, and DSG take game number 1.
Still undefeated on that Akali as, hey, talked about our checklist, returning to what we talked about in the pregame, Deserex. What was it for
Okay,
Disguised? It was
don't get
Antonio,
complacent.
Malachi, Sejuani. Guess what? On those
The
two
first
champions,
game is never has
16
been a
and 2
weakness.
this
It's the
split
second game.
overall. Then what was it for Young?
Second game is the scary
5-0 on
one.
Akali, undefeated on the melee.
That's
spot
where
as
we get a
Asante. And
little
then for Meech, team
sleepy
fight. He's that Jinx, man.
sometimes.
Just get resets off the absolute chaos that your team's creating earlier. These guys played the style we're used to seeing from them, executed it well in AoE. They had no answers. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board for game 2.
Definitely. This game was taken over fast by the hands of DSG. Not much of a response heard from AoE. At this point, we do want to take a quick moment to shout out one of our sponsors as we head into break, and that is
One of our sponsors.
Challengers League is brought to you
Guys,
by Turo,
that's
the world's
your only
largest
sponsor.
car sharing marketplace where you can book about any
But
car
big thank
for
you to
just about
Turo
any
for
occasion.
sponsoring
Forget about those
the
boring
Challengers
rentals
League.
at Turo.com. We'll be right back with Mad Magical.
The Challengers never have any other sponsor? Has it always just... Oh, that's me.
How the summer split has been on his first venture into League of Legends and owning a team. So first off, Disguised Toast, how's it going, man? You're in Taiwan right now, right?
Yeah, visiting family here, so the time zone's a little flip. I've had to wake up at 5 a.m. every day this past 2 weeks to watch my teams compete, but it is definitely worth it.
That's dedication. You've been spending a lot of time watching all of them. So for anybody who maybe is unaware for some reason, how many ventures have you tried going into like owning a team? Because we know League of Legends, right? That's what people here would know about. But what else you got?
We started with Valorant 6 months ago at the tail end of like 2022, and then we got into Valorant Game Changers, but that was still like the same game. So when the League of Legends NACL stuff was happening, I asked like my staff, like, hey, is it possible if we can just get one of these teams that are now teamless? And I think we made it in the span of like 1 week. Like it went from an idea to actually the team being real in the span of 1 week.
What have been some of the favorite moments you've had of the split so far? I obviously been streaming it, so we've gotten to see your live reactions. What have been some of your favorite moments?
Favorite moments is just there's quite a few of them, but it's just the consistency of how the team plays. Like Meech's play style is very aggressive. Is the one thing that always stands out to me when I watch these games. And early on, you can tell he was a little too aggressive. Like him and Zazel would just not be on the same page. I would watch this guy just walk into river and die, and I'm just wondering like what Zazel's thinking. But if you watch his performance over the last 2 weeks, he's been like the guy to carry the game over the finish line. Like his scoreline on Aphelios especially, I think we looked at the stats, it's like 85% win rate. So it's really cool to see like Meech Young develop as like these kind of not as known players as the other 3 Cloud9 champions.
So what are some of the other wins that you've experienced this split so far?
Other wins? I think it's just cool to see people in League talk about Team Disguised DSG. I've always wanted to be involved in League of Legends in some way. 8 years ago was me applying to be a game design intern for League of Legends. I passed the first 3 rounds, and then I got rejected on the 4th round.
The players have been trying to help you out as best as they can. I know you've been watching the streams and the interviews, and they have been shouting out the Patreon. Who, in your opinion, has done the best job of shouting out the Patreon on the team?
Oh man, it's gotta be a tie between Zazo and Fake God. Zazo gives a more professional, like
Is this
clinical
pre-recorded? No,
shout
that's
out.
my
It's like,
twin.
hey, this really supports the team. Check it out if you can. And Fake God gives a more from the heart, begging on his knees, please support this Patreon, or else we're not gonna be able to afford rent. Um, I'm gonna give it to Fake God because he brings that human
Ooh.
emotion to it.
Yeah, you can really feel the emotion coming out from him. Any other message you want to give to anybody out there watching, either your own fans or fans of the team, people maybe wondering what's next for Disguised?
What's next? Just keep trucking along, seeing how this season turns out. My grand master plan is for us to win challengers and use that to say to Riot, hey, look, these challengers players are pretty good. I think they deserve a chance to play on the on the big leagues. And I know there's rumors that some LCS team like TSM might be exiting. Look, that's a vacant slot.
Good interview. Well done.
Hello, and welcome back in. We are here for the Rallycry halftime show, but before that, we have the Turo Key drive that I want to dive right into because there's a moment in the game where I felt it was very
Oh, Mr.
important and
Rivington's in chat. Hello,
signified
Rivington.
everything that would happen in
Mr.
the
Riv,
game.
how are
It was
you?
very early
Nice to see you
on,
here.
though. That is the one thing, and it was this big fight. Like, you talked about it in the cast, Cubby, that it seemed a
Guys,
little
we
early for
win
Zazo with the
NACL. We
but it
win
was
the
perfect
chance
because
to
they
go
were
to
able to pop
LCS.
Will, and then what can AoE do?
For the record,
AoE do
Riot has
after?
made
They
no
just have
promises
nothing
or
that they can
indicated.
really fight
Actually,
back
they
with, and
outright
to
told
me,
us that
that
winning challenges will have zero effect and impact on us actually being in LCS. But I don't listen so good, so I'm gonna keep saying that. Like, guys, I think if we win challenges, we can get into LCS, guys. And they said, Toast, you need to stop telling your viewers that because they're gonna be really disappointed if that was ever the case. Because we're not letting you into the LCS. Where's give us $20 million.
This wasn't really it. It didn't really get the team fights going, as you saw in that
Damn,
Dragon fight,
Azir's
where they
damage
just
is
pretty much
crazy
gave up
high.
so much gold right over to DSG early on.
I guess
yeah, I mean,
it's high because
see where the damage
Azir
is.
can just
Yes,
poke
you gotta
the
jinx on the
Sedge
team, whatever they
and
call it. You're like, oh, they gotta do so much damage. Then you look at Fake
what's
God, and you're
Mahuzid?
like, oh
Rel?
my goodness, that is nearly what, 8 times the amount of damage.
Cassante, their Cassante and the Ivern did less damage
to
than our
$1
Rel.
billion org, so they can get Fake God a flamethrower and just have him like setting Toast on fire, you know? Because I feel like that's all he did is the Rumble this game.
Yep, and with that, it was a pretty clean win for the most part. They just absolutely
It was really
crushed.
clean, man.
Yeah.
I'm so curious, what is gonna happen to TSM's spot? Are they just gonna sell it to Mr. Beast? What, like, what's gonna happen to it if TSM doesn't get a seller? And I think we should all agree to not buy from TSM and make it a buyer's market instead of a seller's market. They're gonna bid for it. Oh no, it's just gonna be some rich dude with too much money, like 80% of esports team right now, man. It's just some rich guy from a rich family who has a son who's really into esports. Like, Dad, can I have an esports team? And they're like, all right, son.
And funnily enough, split with Supernova. So
I know, wild, isn't it? Wild. They are
I'm never
a wild
surprised by
team.
that anymore.
yeah, so like honestly, Disguise again. I really felt like the checklist we talked about earlier on. They are forming an identity.
According to franchise
and I
rules,
think that's
Immortal
serving
should be
Disguise
out of the league
really
for poor
well,
performance.
And they are a team that I think really has come into their own.
Yeah. Explained. Reddit Immortal LCS rules. This is an Immortal subreddit? Who's going on the Immortal subreddit? Sorry, that's out of pocket. I apologize. Yo, you don't need a subreddit for Immortals, man. Brother, you barely have enough fans for your Twitter. Counter Logic Gaming were one split away from being kicked out of the LCS. Teams will no longer have to worry about relegation. Riot will give financial incentives for good performance and will disqualify teams that finish 9th or 10th 5 times over the 8 split span. Wait. Immortals has finished 10th, 10th, 9th, 9th, 9th. Wait, that's 5. In the span of 4 years. Wait, they already broke the rule. Not that I'm happy for the demise of, a company or anything. But they broke the rule. It says right here. Riot will disqualify teams that finish 9th or 10th 5 times over an 8 split span. It says will. So they will do it, right? So they changed the wording. It's not will, it's a might. Who? You can't change the wording. Just because no one is willing to invest money in the league? That's not how it works.
I want to make sure that we get ready for the game. So what turret was the first one of the game to fall? This is now an easy one. I'm giving you a gimme point.
Why is Tyler One streaming hot tubs?
Hey, here we go.
Touch the wall.
I'm getting my guns ready.
Just making sure you ain't cheating. Tell me when. Are you saying ready?
3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Why is he doing it in one breath?
Do not count Saya going up in the air. There was still a part that Lynx caught.
Oh yeah, we revealed the prize for the OTV tournament, and I feel pretty proud of this one. This prize was my idea. Twitter offline TV. This starts actually tomorrow. Man, I gotta wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow again. It's Japanese, handcrafted by a blacksmith, Oni katana. We found the best swordsmith in Okinawa, Japan. And we asked him, we said, Sensei, can you bring us great honor and forge us a katana worthy of Tanjiro from Demon Slayer? And the worst thing is I'm not playing since I'm in Taiwan. That blacksmith said no, so we had these made by like a prop shop in Los Angeles. But yeah, every winner gets one.
Team effort up here, Eric. As we got to get into game 2 to see which team can come out on top, put a better team effort up on themselves, as I expect Will to take Sejuani.
I have the memory of a goldfish. That's all I'm going to say right there. 2 marksman bans coming out from DSG.
No, they're banning out Maokai. They know.
See if the Sejuani actually gets left up right
They
here.
know about our Maokai.
Would be a good grab. Denies it away from Tomio, one of his best champions, alongside that Maokai that he's played so much of.
I think you just ban Kaisa. Give them Sejuani. You can play into Sejuani. There are things you can actually play into Sej. Okay. You take away the Sejuani. No Sej for Will. Kaisa, Rel, both on the board. Both going to be passed up on for the Rakan. DSG have the ability to take both Kaisa and Rel here if they want, which makes for an ever so flexible red side draft. Seen a lot of teams do this, and would not be surprised to see them pick that up now.
So with that first lock-in, still allows Breezy to play some form of engage, which I always want Breezy on. Throughout the entirety of the season, he has been one of those major engagers. Once the giraffe gets back,
I'm looking
to
at
AoE,
breakfast options around my place, and it's
so
all
DSG
just
gonna start to grab their bottom lane,
dumplings.
blocking the Xayah.
dumplings,
Rel
dumplings,
here
dumplings.
too. Tomio can play it in the jungle, so it is a flex.
Maybe sometimes I
DSG
don't want
just wanted to
dumplings.
deny Xayah Rakan.
Oh, their
as
dumplings are kind of lit, so
mine
maybe I
to
just
be a
get
lot of
dumplings.
priority put on the Rumble. Assuming, I mean, this is a good read from DSG because while Rel is such high priority overall in draft for a lot of teams, there has yet to be a game that we have seen on stage where Will has played Rel jungle. So I think DSG is going to try and pick up Rel in the back half of this draft. And we'll see if AoE actually denies it and if Will can play the Rel jungle now or if they give that one away.
And
Always
just
makes
get
me
excited
sad to
seeing
see
Big Dog
Xayah
on
and
the Rumble
Rakan
once
split
again.
up.
This time,
It just
AoE
feels
gets a
wrong,
little-
you know?
At least a little bit more favorable, especially if they grab it before we head into the second phase of the draft. But Fake God had excellent placements on those equalizers that would ruin the day of AoE. But now Concept is allowed on that champion that pretty much has his best win rate. The Scion, 6 games, has a 4.5 KDA, can be that brick wall. And the one that Magical wanted to see locked in.
Nazriel,
6
nah.
games.
Wow, so this is a pick that AoE really pioneered in challengers, was the Trist mid, Ziggs bottom. That I feel like was really strong for AoE. Now, the answer that we have seen to a lot of Ziggs is actually the Seraphine bot. We are not going to see that in this game, as of course Xayah is showing, but oh boy, you know what made it through all the way of pick ban. Now it is 13-14, so likely that we do not see the Shiv LeBlanc, but LeBlanc is available, and the ability for Young to go past the Scion and try to harass this Ziggs, I really like LeBlanc into Ziggs. I feel like you can one-shot him later in the game and get around those minefields. So DSG will be trying to use the over-the-top damage of the Rumble and LeBlanc to find that. Also, I just realized, Desrex, I was talking so much about Rel in the early game, and it was banned on 3. So, Mad Magical just got in my head for the Impossible
In your
Quiz.
walls.
I have broken down. I was like, where is Rel? And pick ban. And it's just, it was staring right at me this whole time.
That's alright, man. It happens to
I'm
everyone.
going to drink coffee now because I'm disappointed with myself.
I got you. I'm
Carry
happy
me.
about this LeBlanc pick because even with the changes that we have to Static Shiv, not going to be bought, so that means you're still going to itemize more for the AP.
Do they bring up casters from challengers to cast in the LCS as well? That seems much tougher because there's only like 6 casting slot in LCS.
Final ban away is going to be the
Like how do you promote?
Interesting one. DSG, their next pick.
There's not enough
Setting up
slots.
To go Viego, as that is one of the answers that we see at the moment. Support counter to become likely. We have seen Zeyzal really like
The process is always.
not necessarily. There's not enough engaged.
Yeah, it seems like a very difficult job to have, and I can't imagine they're getting paid that much to cast challengers.
Tomio and Zeyzal. We saw Ayla answer Rakan with a Mumu.
Like there's so much love for esports and passion from fans and players, but it's just it's something that really does feel like there's not enough money to go
and
around.
Zeyzal going into the last pick, very curious and something that can hold people in place for that Rumble wall.
And this will be played for the first time for DSG, but I know you're excited to talk about this one. Just got buffed up. The Lissandra hitting crit for AoE.
All right, we're gonna
Lissandra?
go skip to the list portion of the patch here that I have on my second monitor.
I haven't seen list. The last time I saw list was like
all enemies hit, which is
4
a
years
huge
ago.
change, and the passive, it has better priority in who it chooses. It also follows enemies into brushes, which is a big deal, as it didn't do that beforehand. And enemies can see it in fog. So
Trundle.
But
I always hated playing against Trundle players because I love playing tanky jungler, and Trundle steals your stats.
From the Scion, and traditionally a decent matchup into the Viego that we predicted. So it's all about mid-jungle duo here for the side of AoE. They need to get Will resets and need to get him rolling, because if not, they do not have a traditional marksman, and the Sonder damage will fall off later in the game. So a lot of early game showing for AoE. We'll see if they can take the turrets and snowball things fast enough, while DSG, big team fight, play off of Amumu ults with Rumble, and see if you can lock down AoE and take them down.
AoE in a position where they need to get the win right now if they want to continue this series and stay in the upper bracket. DSG,
please, we have to win.
Game
if we lose the second one, I think I wouldn't be able to take it. It will be great for content, more games to stream, but I would prefer the 2-0. Okay, if I had to choose between all the options, I would rather have a 2-1 and then a 2-0. If I knew we were gonna 2-1, I would always want a third game, but it's just so scary that I prefer the 2-0.
Very much needed in this series, as at the moment DSG find themselves up 1-0, and we've seen what Fake God can do on this Rumble. It's a pretty big pick for Disguised.
Pretty big pick, and pretty great performance so far in this series as they head into game number 2. Impressive to have Disguised pull off what they've done so far, especially being our first content creator team within the NACL.
Oh, that's me. I'm a content creator.
You know,
I create content. I prefer the term content. Oh, Amumu's going in. Cry. Cry on him. Cry on him.
Bandage toss is going to be used to get some good chip damage out.
Remember when Amumu only had 1 Q?
Try and walk a road that's pretty familiar.
Oops, got the wrong one. That's awkward. Back in my day, Amumu only had 1 charge of his bandage toss.
Live with that. Yep, pops the potion, can't get back that time.
I know I make it sound like a long time. I think that was like 1 year ago or something.
More the Sonder changes, Deserux. Keep in mind that self-cast on R gives you a lot more healing. The AP ratio.
He has more now. Yeah, he has 2 bandages. You just saw him.
That's a lot.
He tossed it out twice.
They changed how it interacts with dashes when you throw R down on someone. It's more lockdown. There aren't as many things as you can buffer through the Sandra ult, so that will be something to look out for as Lissandra. I think a pick that got a lot of quality of life changes on this patch, and one that I am excited to see, as we'll see if AoE can utilize this Viego to the fullest. This is a combo that very good in League of Legends. And
oh, that's right. You better flash.
Bandage tosses and forcing the bot lane of AoE. Him suffer a little bit, forcing the
that was changed like 6 years ago, old man. Okay.
But he's got big words to say as well as we pull that up.
Honestly, I'd say I think their bot lane actually did pretty well against Meech and I, and obviously like I don't want that to happen, so I'd say they did well in that regard. And if I'm not mistaken, they also kind of picked tanks into our top matchups, and we were having a hard time there dealing with tanks for a while, but now we've kind of gotten over that. So let's say they overperformed the draft a little bit compared to us too.
Ooh, Zane draft dip. Is that a Cope Cubby, or we got some legitimacy right there?
It is something where I really feel like AoE's actually set some of the meta in Challengers this split. It's been part of their resurgence. They had the worst record in the first round robin. Really came into their own in the second round robin and make the 6th seed. A lot of that was built around the Ziggs and Mages bot, combining that with Tristana. We even had Darklings playing Ezreal. He's one of the more early people to be playing Kai'Sa mid, not just into the Shiv LeBlanc. So I think
they got Ziggs and they got Scion. They don't plan to fight champions, do they? They plan to fight tower.
Again, coming in with a different approach, utilizing the Lissandra that saw a lot of positive changes on this patch, pairing it up with Viego, a champ that Will historically has been very good at, A combo that historically has been very good.
Technically, you win the game when you destroy the buildings.
As they have this Lissandra, Tomio shows up. But very hard to interrupt that claw that comes out from Lissandra to get her over to safety. Now Will is the one in the mid lane. He's trying to shove in this wave to make sure Darklings can have a safe recall.
Darkling's gonna hopefully walk back as Tomio trades out that crab. Everyone is resetting for mid jungle. Clean map so far. Rumble has pushed. That's very much expected for DSG. So no surprises quite yet.
Nothing of it. Nothing of it. Still in the early stages, and this game did play a little bit on the slower side when we did have it in game number 1. I still think this is going to be the better of the 2 games so far. In fact, I wouldn't use the B word just yet. I wouldn't say I intend for this to be a banger, but I just get excited when I see AoE making moves like this with Lissandra, with the Viego, or even going back to tried and true picks like the Ziggs.
Yeah, I'm honestly just like curious to see how this plays out, right? Because there are a lot of unknown quantities. I don't really know how the list matchup plays out into this iteration of LeBlanc. More self-healing kind of helps, but like LeBlanc, how you play out this matchup, a lot of it's just lose push, then you just try and play out on your chain rain. Whereas at the moment, Young doing a pretty decent job of at least contesting things with Darklings. And then also, I mean, this is going to be interesting to see what the Trundle can do in the side.
Uh-oh.
We do have a play attempted. Young, chain goes
That's
wide.
right. Trundle's here.
But Tomio is here on the spot to hover. Young gonna continue to be able to push up and trap Qs into the Lissandra, which it looks like Young is actually maxing first.
And that's what you were saying, Cubby, as we were in the Champion Select, that we expect this to basically hover around the mid and jungle, both these squads, and we're kind of getting that already. Tomio, any visits in the mid lane, same thing coming out for Will thus far, and should be a rather tighter matchup. Lissandra was one of those, like, classical counters.
Oh, careful, careful.
Now fight breaking out.
Careful, careful, Meech, careful. I see that very often. Meech has to flash the Rakan knockup a lot. I think that's the 4th time this season I've seen it.
DSG's bot lane got an early
I mean, it's always better to
as
flash
they TP'd
than
back
not
without
flash.
having access to the lost chapter, but that's a win back
Rakan
now
seems
for
to always
AoE.
catch him off guard.
They force Meech back and will utilize that to secure the first dragon for themselves. An Ocean Dragon, which can really help AoE in the laning phase. Which, again, important for AoE, as this is a comp that later on, they will get outscaled by the fact that DSG, they just have a traditional marksman, and AoE does not. So that DPS will be really tough for them to play against. They're going to have to do a good job of balancing out that fire, making sure they're taking clean engages and getting Viego resets if they want to contest a disguised later.
Will and Viego can get in a position to carry. Just depends how this game does play out and how much you can impact the game. As already a snare comes through, bandage toss will land onto Lynx, excuse me, as Zazel forces the flash. He's gonna have to flash right out of this. Now Meech able to get the snare through.
Oh my God! Don't cook. It's so no, that's a Viego! Oh no!
Now Zazel,
Yes!
first blood picked up by Meech. Zazel, beautiful bandage toss.
Get him!
He's gonna
Get
look
him,
for another
Zazel!
one to clean up. Lynx needs to land it, but the double kill comes in time from Will.
Okay. Oh wait, but we got a gank top. 2 for 2. We'll take it.
Looks like Tomio was able to stuff Sion all with a pillar. That goes over to the skies, so trades across the map. And gotta give some credit to Meech and Zazel. Meech stepping up there against the Zig was able to pump out so much damage. They at least made that trade somewhat even on the bot side.
Fake Gods always got me.
Somewhat even, but it all goes awry into the top side where DSG are able
Tomio and
to
Fake God got a kill top there.
And we saw what happened
So
last
it ends
time.
up
Fake
being
God getting income.
even.
That income goes straight over to the equalizer that he places in a lot of these fights. And with the draft that you have from AoE, they will.
The Viego got 2-0 though, so it's scary.
DSG getting that for Fake God, gonna feel good.
Alright, let's see where Tomio drops this pillar, as I'm expecting a face plant. Oh, I don't know how the Sion all was burned. Maybe it's just because he's dead. Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah.
Alright, he just never used
got
it. Yeah, I saw it down to the tops. I was like, is there no sound effect? That was kind of weird. That could be the case. All eyes, though, have to be on Will Deserex, as it was a trade, a 2 for 2 across the map from each team. But for Will. He's got both those kills. This is the Lissandra Viego combo as we were setting up. He has to get the first reset in these fights. DSG wants to have a chance. And again, Will, one of the stronger players we feel like are on AoE as an individual. So all eyes on Will for this fight, as Young might be in trouble.
Oh, Darkwing's going in, able to find the tome, right onto the Amumu, and 4 members of AoE collapse right for it. It's a 3rd kill going over to Will.
That's a great execute coming out from AoE. Concept rotated all the way around. He will sack that wave top to make the play, but I think that's well worth it, as a couple ults used by AoE, but still able to get a pick, able to get on out of there. And AoE making some good plays early in a game where they really have to, Desrex, so credit to them.
I would love to see a game where we actually have Will putting on the carry pants and really just dominating this. And with 3 kills early, that's the right direction for AoE to make that a reality. I do like the way Darkwings has been facilitating some of these fights. It kind of throws me back to Evil Geniuses from last spring when they would do that with Robbie Bob and Shaden. Very, very similar. It's the same thing. Mid laner, Lissandra, holds down these members, gets Will to pop off.
Yeah, that was the week, too, where they ran the gauntlet of the 3 teams that combined for 7 wins, and you didn't realize how bad they were until the end. It was quite a fun week from Shaden. As it was Viego.
This Viego is going to be a big problem.
Now,
I mean, Viego is one of those characters that can
Will,
scale really well, right?
Set up for success.
Especially with their ability to take over souls.
Into the face of this Trundle, who is on the top
I'm
side.
scared.
The world has been secured. Will trying to trade it out for camps on his own. The bot side will do so successfully.
Puts it away.
Took a blue buff as well.
Issue. Antonio is still focused onto that top side. Yeah, the Summer Child, Will, someone who we call that because we see this guy almost like exclusively in summer. Wasn't even in last spring.
Not almost.
Oh, okay, exclusively.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Be confident, that's right. You were right.
I mean, from his time in Dignitas, his time in 100 Thieves, it's always been summer tier 2. Will shows up to the fray. Of course, Will has been an incredible talent in the past. 4th place finish for 100 Thieves Academy. The last time we did see him on the Rift back when it was Proving Grounds.
I will say that was the true final. So, that's all I'll say there. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Really?
All right. There we go.
Say this at the same time that we have Fake God, Tomio, and Zazel here.
Well, they're just a little bit of a party in mid in the Darkwings. As I'm going to throw down that Herald. Would you play in the wave clear mids, like this in the LB? 2 Heralds to take that tower can sometimes be really nice. That looks to be the play here from Tomio. I get a little bit of gold on a Young. Actually gets ulted.
Oh no! Somebody help Trundle!
Coming out from either Breeze or Darkwing, so they will melt him down when the Trundle falls.
Please!
A great setup.
It's slipping. It's slipping.
Execution coming out here from AoE, and again, this is the team that, with the Ziggs, they've been playing this pick the longest in the bot lane. I think we're seeing some of that come to fruition here, Desirux, as that was a really nice combo from across the map to take down Tomio. Just trying to get one more plate in the pocket of Young. A little bit too far forward, and AoE take what's given to them, get another kill.
They get the dragon stacking going as well. With that second Drake, we're going to have a dragon map and a slight lead coming out for AoE 12 minutes into this right now. So far, so good. Would like to see more plates taken quite soon, especially because you do have this Ziggs. Just the pressure coming out from the bot lane. It was a big surprise to see what Zazel was going to pull off onto this Amumu and how aggressive actually going to play this 2v2.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of the bandage sauce level 1. I think Zazel did a nice job of it now. Yeah, you have level 6, but it's a lot more weakness in lane, a lot more strength to fight.
Featherstorm comes out, but Breezy has a chance to engage.
Oh, he has to flash it again.
Didn't have the ultimate that time, so it allows Meech to escape with his flash.
I still love that from AoE, though. Just like bleeding out summoner spells. That's not something they can revisit. Alt, very long cooldown on Xayah at rank 1. And they got the flash, too. So, again, AoE just playing smart League of Legends, right? Utilize the priority. You have Will somewhere. Breezy able to get a couple summoner spells out, working with Will.
Do we scale? Someone tell me the truth. Don't lie to me. Are we better scaling?
The Ziggs is so good for AoE, because it does enable Lynx to kind of be on his lonesome, manage waves, and gets Breezy out on the map.
Yeah, we do.
He can really excel.
All right, but now
Alright,
Breezy
that's all I need to hear.
in
Thank
a
you.
tight spot. Tomio tries to put down the pillar, but easy escape for the AoE bottom lane. They both have their summoner spells
But
available.
wait, if we
So
scale, that
unfortunately,
means
even though Will
Viego scales,
can
because
find summoners left
Viego
and
can
right,
just
can't
take
say
our
the same for
souls.
Tomio, as the bot lane holds true.
this guy's still gonna have to really take their
So
time
they'll scale.
with any sort of game plan they have on the Rift. A lot of it's gonna come down to Amumu plus Rumble combos. Going back to some Season 2 League of Legends here, Deserex.
Yeah, don't remind me. I've already been called out for being old once.
I'm not doing that. It's more wisdom.
Wait,
Deserex.
no, this is good because if Diego has all the kills, that means when he turns into one of us, he actually loses power.
Yeah, I love that.
So Viego's the worst person to have money
Oh
on.
yeah, absolutely. I'm sure she's rooting for us.
So if
every single
anything,
night.
him having kills
I
actually
have.
benefits us.
And didn't get the response I was looking for.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, she I don't know. She always gives us the impression that she's going to beat us bloody. And in situations like we had in that game number 1 where DSG were able to stomp onto AoE. What reflections of that, Cubby?
Oh, well. We'll see if
Oh my god, it's a Scion. He doesn't take damage. He's just walking towards the tower and no one can do anything about it.
Looks like it's not even needed.
Oh.
Darkwings in concept just going to power play this one down. We have a shift of power on the map. Herald is about to spawn on the top side, but it is AoE ahead of the play on the bot side. They take the outer turret for themselves. Now, TP from Concept actually contest this top turret, so good Scion macro coming out from Concept, utilizing the TP, the cross map to defend this, and now diving Scion's scary. DSG are thinking about it.
Yeah, but it is a trundle. You can still
Oh,
await those
come on.
resistances. Tomio's eating a little bit too much
No,
damage
we don't do
before he can
damage.
pop that
Leave,
bar,
everyone
so
leave.
Concept gets the better of the trade.
Look, we cannot fight.
I feel like Concept kind of mind controlled Tomio to go for that dive. I'm gonna be real. That wasn't very good. Perhaps the Concept pulling the wave, but DSG pushing way too far forward. And now that was the play that they tried to answer. It failed, so Neely gets another turn on the map to do something here, Deserex. They're making good use out of it as Lynx already gets this turret nearly pretty much one wave away from satchel charge range. And AoE,
What do we
just
do?
like that,
They're so
every outer
tanky.
turret is under siege by them as they push this gold lead forward.
This gold is gonna explode for AoE right now because look, they're even grabbing a Rift
God,
Herald, so
there's
they have
nothing. I feel like there's
more
nothing we
that
can do.
on the map if they're able to get this to crash into a tower.
We can't even kill Lissandra. We can't kill Viego.
Taking it at a timely pace because 35 seconds left before the dragon comes up. That would also set AoE to Soul Point. So it seems like all
Soul
the
Point?
pieces
We're
are
15
falling
minutes
into
into the game. What do you mean Soul Points?
And a lot of it's off the back.
We
of
just
the
got
Sig,
here.
Playing some damn good Sig's macro. You know, it's good to see. As again, AoE Lynx, this was really the team that was credited by other teams in our league for innovating the Ziggs pick, being one of the early adapters. Not only of the Ziggs pick, but also apparently the Seraphine pick we started to see in response to Ziggs
Oh
behind the
God.
scenes. So this is champ that this team knows.
Oh,
really
guys,
well.
I don't
Really
know
in this game,
about
it's great to see.
this.
DSG got to be careful. It's Darkwings on Lissandra. If you misstep, if you don't play with this vision right, that's the only lockdown that's really needed to snowball the
Mr.
kills in
Stark,
favor
I
of
don't
AoE.
feel so
But
good.
DSG are gonna look for a fight of their own.
Oh,
They're gonna
2-man out,
get
okay.
beautiful
Is that what we
from
needed?
the
Meech is
tower.
alive,
Now
Meech is
falling.
alive,
Now
Meech is
trying to
alive.
retreat. It's gonna be
Darkwing
DSG.
is down.
Kill picked up
Run,
by Meech as
okay,
he puts down the
okay.
Feather
Let's
Storm.
not,
And it's a
let's just be
trade.
happy with that,
2
okay?
for nothing as DSG
Let's just
adds
get
it
outta
back
here.
onto AoE.
It was a big re-engage from Breezy onto DSG, but the damage was already done early on by Fake God and Zazel.
Okay.
As the ult
Okay.
flash from Zazel.
Okay,
even
that
caught
was
me off
that was
guard up here,
decent.
that's right. I'm looking down
That
on
buys
the
a
map,
little
like,
bit
whoa,
of time.
we're
Like
gonna
it
go for
actually
this. Your
doesn't
towers
give us a
involved.
big
That's
advantage,
somewhat
but at
worth
least it
defending.
delays their
Look
dragon.
at this, Tomio starting
Okay,
up
everyone
the
come
Drake.
back. Everyone run to
Will
dragon.
and
Please just run
Concept
to
are in
dragon.
the area.
Just everyone
Will
just run
at
to
full
dragon.
health.
Please.
The rest
Please,
of
we need
DSG
this
now
dragon.
trying
Please.
to funnel
Please,
in
for the love of
towards this
God.
dragon area. You do have Young over the wall. Zazel walking up. Young will distort through.
Before Lissandra gets
Be
here.
careful with where Lynx is. If Young spots out Lynx, he will.
We need to do this before Liz show up. We
Ziggs.
need to do this before Liz show up.
Under attack.
Please.
Will's
man.
trying to get close.
Will doesn't have ult. That's the tricky thing for me right now.
Oh God, the 50-50. Yes, okay.
Dragon's whole point going over to AoE, but the fight
Oh,
is
nice.
being
Lynx is-
called by
Lynx is
DSG.
out.
They go right after Concept, able to stop the onslaught. Now Concept will have to just walk out.
Kill this Liz. She doesn't have W. She ain't got no W.
Okay,
Okay, but don't all go into a pit. Don't all go into the pit, man. Okay. Wait,
The kill
what?
traded back as
Oh
Will
God,
going
it's
around
Viego!
him.
What the hell's
The
happening?
flamethrower burning onto
Oh,
him. Will
yes,
trying
no,
to
oh
look for
wait,
the clutch.
Viego's getting the
Finds
reset.
A shutdown
We're fighting,
kill
are we
for Will.
fighting?
The Summer
No, we're not
Giant
fighting,
will
we
tear
are in fact
down
not fighting.
Fake God, and Will clutches it out for AoE.
That was a slow fight from AoE, but Will...
Guys, are we in or are we out, huh?
And God, did he have to or what in that one as DSG were bleeding out everything. Oh, continue to bleed out Lynx.
Oh?
That's the fear of the LeBlanc right there. Finds the Ziggs. Goodbye.
Will 5-0-1. The hopes of AoE lie on
Okay,
his
I'll
shoulders
take
for this
that.
game. I was a little bit scared
little
of that
bonus
fight
kill
initially
at the
because
end?
Will didn't have that ultimate up yet.
Yeah.
But after the first reset, was able to re-secure that one for
Overall,
himself.
I'd say
And
net
then
positive.
Diego, we can see what
Delay
was-
soul point.
We're gonna take another look.
I
Lynx
think
with
we
a
ended
great
up
fight from Young
like
first off.
almost even on kills.
Walk, getting him away from this fight. Concept and taken very low. Great bandage toss.
This is good
by
for
Zayto.
DSG's legacy.
That ultimate who stopped. Darkling stuck in the pit. Look at how slow this fight gets played out. Darkling's just buying time, trying to get cooldowns up. But when Will picks his spot, it's sound. Breezy, able to combine. Will gets the first reset, gets over the wall, and then it's just ult on the Meech. He knows that Meech
Yeah.
has some sums from that last fight that we saw.
That's the
him
problem with
make.
Viego. He just comes in
Good
and
ult,
cleans up.
Or flash, I should say, from Fake Out to try and get around the feathers. But it's not enough. Will takes him down. And this Viego is so damn fed, Desrex. DSG has to be very wary.
Yeah,
of Will's
I
gonna be
mean,
out there.
I think we could have
game,
played that fight a
last
little
play,
better,
could've
but
flipped on a dime.
still overall not
Will,
bad.
with the awareness to know where the feathers were and position.
Who shot
away
calls
from where
once
you were
Zazel's
rooted.
dead?
Put
Well,
that pressure
just
on
because
Meech.
he dies in
It's
game
a great
doesn't mean he
performance
dies
from
in
Will,
real
which is why
life.
He gets hyped up so much, not just as a team
I
player,
think
but
he
as an
still like
individual performer.
can make the
He's
call,
got the
but
hands, man. That's never been a question with Will. It's just really how much can he grow.
I agree. Someone else
into
probably
his,
will like
his own as a jungler
take
or
over
visible
actual
where
engages.
you
Like I'm
really,
going in.
have a lot on your shoulders of how you
But
dictate the map, dictate the play. I think that
when it comes to just shot calling in general, I would say Zazel is still able to do that.
To do in these games, and now all the direction for AoE has to be off the back of this Viego, because again, AoE, they don't have that traditional marksman that we're used to seeing. Desrex, they are going to get outscaled in the later stages by Meech's Xayah. So pushing now, making sure that Will's the one getting resets is really going to be key for AoE success.
5-0-1. Trinity Force completed. Almost done with the second item. And now AoE in the
Ooh,
jungle.
Breezy
of
tried
DSG,
for the
pushing
knockup.
them out of this red side. DSG can only watch for the time being. Marin is
Oh,
available
oh,
here.
3 men out, Zazel. You're too clean. You're Mr. Clean. It's Mr. Clean.
And you're feeling the burn of Fake God. Darkwing's in the middle of all 5.
Meech
It's
is
a triple
walking
kill
up
for Fake
slowly.
God, as he will burn them down.
No
and chase AoE
way,
away from their
Zazel.
jungle, saying this is our territory. Get the hell
No
out.
way.
Will might be
3-man
5-0-1,
flash
but the
over
curse of
wall,
Zach
bandage
Mummy is
all.
the bane of existence if you're an assassin.
Nah.
Zazel able to connect that with the equalizer, the jungler burns, and now Baron will fall in favor of Disguise.
Baron over to DSG. We're gonna have 2
Look at
comeback
this.
games.
Look at
Are
this.
You kidding me right now, Cubby? But this is this
Hex
choke point.
flash.
This is the danger of fighting in the jungle
Watch,
against
boom.
the Rumble.
Oh, it's just a beautiful
Oh my god. Went to the rumble, all by Fake God. Viego instantly dead. No carry, no damage.
So much damage. The magic damage buff that Amumu gives.
Fighting
as well,
in a
able to
tight
synergize
corridor
with
in the
heavy
jungle against a
magic damage
Mumu and a
combination from
Rumble.
Disguise, but they don't really
Nah.
care. They just melted through Disguise. Turo Baron buff secured. And yeah, Disguise, they're cruising, man. AoE, that was it. I don't want to say it was a last breath scenario, but Meech picks up more items now. That's going to be really dangerous for AoE, and if Meech is able to step up and free fire, that's where things get very scary.
God
AoE
damn.
fan.
What a nutty
They thought they
engage
were
by
in the driver's
Zazel.
seat, But in choke points, Rumble does Rumble things, and that equalizer will melt your squad. Beautifully timed with his crowd control that DSG have drafted. Dragon spawns in the next 15 seconds. AoE are trying
Zazel
to
is
find the
so
first foot in there, but
good.
Young's
Zazel is
already
so
taking the
good,
path to,
man. How is this
control
guy
of
so
his
good?
dragon.
How old is he?
DSG getting closer and closer to that Dragon Soul point. Oh, here we go. Able to
Nice.
back off.
Get out there,
Trying to
Meech.
escape. Mega Inferno Bomb goes down. Meech at about half health as the equalizer.
Here comes the
found.
Rumble out
Carson
again.
Mummy.
Burn
The
him
Beard
up.
will bring down the pain and lock up AoE. As
Tomio,
Concept
Tomio.
into the zombie mode falls.
Oh,
And more
Fake-
fighters flying from Meech as they set
Get him,
their
Meech,
sights
get him.
on the Will. Dark Darkwings looks for the outplay, but he doesn't have an ultimate. He doesn't have a chance. Will die to Young, and it's 3 fallen by the wayside as DSG find another team fight win.
I love how DSG, Zeyzal, they wait out the first bandage toss. There's no Curse of the Sad Mummy until they know it's going down. Him and Fake God are on the same page in this game, Destructs. It really showed and paid off in that last fight.
Yeah, I think this game is the Zeyzal and Fake God show. Look at that.
About Curse of the Sad Mummy and Equalizer going together. Man, you put up the pillar, and now you're forced to walk even slower around all this zone control, all this damage of DSG. It's ripping AoE asunder.
What happened?
DSG too. We talked about kind of the narrower focus. It still is, and it's not a melee for Young. It's still an assassin, you know. It feels like a comfort zone for him. But Tomio on the Trundle, yeah, it's a supportive pick, but in a much different way. They're still finding ways to play around this Rumble pick that DSG is making look so damn strong as Fake God. He's been the big carry of this game, Destruct.
Oh, that's unfortunate that's Mountain Drake because we have 0 tanks on the team.
If they do get through the early game, given how well each of these younger players team fight. But Fake God, man, he's been a beast in the series.
Yeah. And he wants to get back to the top echelon of competition. He will do it right now in Tier 2. Showing just how
Trundle? Is Trundle a tank?
Actually is.
I thought Trundle's more of a bruising bruiser. Oh, they want to fight on us. You guys want to fight on us? You guys want to fight on us? Rakan's trying to go for the Zaya. It's a love quarrel.
Here comes Young. Wants to find Darkwings. Can't get onto him.
Oh my God! They're trying to get to Meech, but they can't, and he's dead.
Critically low. Here comes Tomio. Young hops in. Only the clone gonna follow on the chase, and 2 fall once again. But finally, AoE able to match the deaths. No, they'll lose concept. It's a kill lead for DSG and a tower taken in their name.
Honestly, that was the best look from AoE in the last few fights because Fake God wasn't
Moon's a tank? No, if you look at what they're building, it's more of a support.
Will died mid Heartbreaker. If that connected, Meech had no.
Yeah, Meech. The Rakan went flash, alt, knock up on Zaya. Will tried to flash in. The Scion was ulting towards. Everyone was trying to kill Meech there. Like, look at Meech here. Yeah, Scion trying to ult in. Meech auto. Lissandra flashes in with the Everfrost. Rakan goes for the stun knockup.
He's gonna get a reset on the Zeyzal. He's gonna go in.
They use so much on Meech. But yeah, Viego got him towards the end. But it's fine, right?
As he didn't burn the original.
Oh, it was the Ziggs bomb that got him at the end.
So if that connects, that would have been the big key. The double Viego ult, that actually would have gotten the Zaya down. Maybe there's a chance where AoE can come back in the fight, but no dice, and Meech continues to be fed. He actually went for a Hex Drinker to try and dodge out on all the damage he's facing from the Ziggs and the Lissandra. Should be DPSing very soundly too, as DSG kept their eyes.
They spent so much on Meech that our Rumble is, yeah, just.
As they want to prevent AoE any chances of getting back in this game.
Chilling.
DSG, what a phenomenal response to make sure that Meech was going to be A-OK. Even Tomio blocking the ultimate of concept. I was surprised at just how
I imagine Trundle's a really good pick into Scion.
Because
Scion is super tanky, and Trundle steals all that stats.
They control the rift. They're dominating right now. Baron spawns in the next 40 seconds. And what is the answer for AoE? What do they have left in the tank to really fight back with? If you're funneled into these choke points, Fake God will claim you and Meech will tear you apart.
Nice satchel charge from Lynx to get over that pillar. Tomio tried to lock him in. And that's a great call, because AoE's comp, Destructs, they want to play from ahead. They want to have Ziggs on your side of the map, able to drop minefields and bouncing bombs to prevent DSG from walking through those chokes. But instead, it's Ziggs that has to play and throw his skill shots into River, where there's so much more room for Disguise to dodge. It's really tough for Ziggs to operate when you aren't ahead in these games. And
wait, this Rakan's out of position. That's illegal.
Just given that they can't control the map with Ziggs, and then they have this big marksman on DSG that they lack themselves because they went the Ziggs to try and free fire.
Trundle build an Anathema. That is a very rarely seen item.
Did just buy a death cap and instantly teleported back into the mid lane.
This is the first time I've seen anyone build an Anathema. It's an item that allows you to take less damage from one specific person.
There's no pressure for DSG to fight.
I assume that one specific person is going to be Viego.
Hidden on a control.
Oh, the desperate. They're doing this in the Baron pit.
He stopped the claw. He stopped the claw. Darkwings is caught out. He was forced to use the ultimate onto himself.
What are you doing? What doing? What doing? Fighting in the river against the Rumble. What doing? What doing?
And now DSG take 2 and say the Baron belongs in the name of Disguised.
Any miracle steal for Will? That's got to be the only way that AoE gets back in this one. But look at the bot wave. It's actually hitting the bot inhibitor.
Whoa, Tomio, you have like 20 health, man. Calm down.
Will be a free Baron going over to DSG, and that's got to be the last hope, the last chance for AoE in this one. As Darkwings too far away from his team, and once he got caught, even with all the time he could buy in the Sunder, there was no play for AoE.
Turo Baron buff picked up by DSG, and now the Stranglehold is about to reach the 10k point. Dragon is spawning, but this is not something AoE even want to really fight over. It's not a Dragon Soul point. There's not much you can really find redemption from. This is going to be the long con if you're looking for an Elder, and that is time you do not have, Cubby.
And this is the scary part of the game, if you are Lynx.
Oh, they're trying to get desperation. Oh, they're desperate, man. They're trying to get this dragons. Like, maybe we'll get Dragon Soul in 5 minutes. Ah, nah. Nah, man. You can't. Oh, this is hard to watch. This is their only chance, so they gotta go for it.
Really big right now. It's AoE. Does look like they're gonna secure this. No, here it goes.
Oh, and we also got the dragon as well. Rumble's behind, barbecuing all of them.
Going through, it is done. It is dusted. It is over. It is
I can't watch this.
Hunting down Lynx and finding their victory as they want to proceed to round number 2. Let's put an exclamation point on it and splat this rat. DSG Disguise. Toast, are you watching? Is this the 2-0 you wanted? It's found by DSG.
The team fight with the Rumble Amumu.
It is.
Good. I don't know how much more often.
This is what we wanted. This is very good for DSG's legacy.
Fake got 11, 1 in 9.
My God.
Zazel, every team fight we saw.
Yeah, Zazel and Fake God, their coordination in that one jungle fight in top won the game. We were down 2k at that point, and we became up 2k from one fight.
Like, talking with a lot of teams behind the scenes, they really feel like every team in this playoff,
like one decision made by Zazel,
we saw a couple moments of AoE.
wins the game. It's crazy.
But in the end, it is Fake God's Rumble and a team fight.
Look at that damage
Zazel
from
that
Fake
was
God.
way too damn good, and AoE just could not handle it.
He got Rumble twice in a row, and the result was the same each time, Cubby. Once we started piling in to those 5v5s, one well-placed equalizer is all it would take, and it helps even more that you have Zazel there who's locking them down with the bandage toss. He can double up on that curse of the
Get
Sad
this
Mummy.
man
It was
on an
lockdown city, and
LCS
you were
team.
forced to burn.
I really love the Amumu pick this game. I think that there is a lot of value that Amumu brings into Rakan in that isolated matchup as a support.
And the way we do
Also,
that is by
real reason
becoming
it's
an
going to be the
LCS
ultimate.
team.
And the ultimate,
Okay,
combining
Riot,
that with the
we
equalizer,
deserve
massive for Disguise.
We deserve
And made
it.
sure that this was a
Fake
clean
God
2-0
deserves
in their
it.
favor, man. Disguise
Zazel
good
deserves
today,
it, okay?
as
These
that
players
concludes our first
deserve
round.
to
All
be able to
2-0s in our
showcase
first
their
round of
talent.
Yeah, every single
Instead
game,
of
even yesterday's
always
games
us
with the,
importing
DSG versus MU
washed up
Fears
talent.
Wildcard, both of those
Alright?
2-0s as well. We're just
People don't
off
want to
the
hear it,
races
but I'm gonna say it.
Round number 1. But with that, DSG taking a 2-0 victory. Pat yourselves on the back. It's gotta
This
feel
is North
good to hear
America.
from them. So we're going to take a moment to throw it over to short break when we return.
Alright, we
That
should be
match will have an interview
promoting
on the other
North
side with our
American
winners.
talent.
The LCS Challengers League is brought to you by Turo, the world's largest car sharing marketplace. Find your drive.
Oh, we're playing against FlyQuest? Oh, here we go again.
I don't know how this rivalry developed with FlyQuest. Didn't they 3-1'd us in regular season, right? Uh-oh. I'm scared. NACL summer 2023. I'm squeed. Okay. Oh man, we're playing against FlyQuest, and whoever wins that play is probably against Team Liquid. Wait, FlyQuest only has 4 players. How they gonna play? Hmm? Hmm? There's only 4 players on the active roster. We win by default. 5v4. So when's next game? Y'all got a schedule anywhere? Tomorrow? Wait. Don't I have a Valorant thing tomorrow? Oh. Oh. So FlyQuest. Oh, it is tomorrow. At 3 p.m. PST. Oh. When's the OTV event? Why is there a 2-minute long video for our announcement? Oh, it's just a list of players. Like a race clip. Transfer.
Yo, Valkyrie here with some carrots.
What? Why did she have carrots? Yeah, this is the prize. I think this is my favorite part of this whole event. I think each of these cost about 1,000 to 2,000 to make. Because here's the thing about streamers and content creators. They're rich. If you said, hey, if you win this event, we'll give you $1,000. They'll be like, I already have $1,000. I don't need $1,000. But if you say, here's an authentic replica of the Oni katana, suddenly it becomes, oh, well, I don't have one of those. And you can explain, well, you can use the money to buy a katana.
Horizon post-game interview. I'm Magical, and I'm joined in by the mid laner of Disguise. It is Young after a dominant 2-0 performance. Gotta ask, how's it feel?
It feels good. We had a good week of scrims, and I think it showed in our matches. So yeah, feels good.
Did, and you remain undefeated on a Akali as well. Yeah, at least in the summer split, you have yet to lose on that champion. So I want to ask like the reasoning behind why you've been putting so much attention onto this Akali. Well, it feels like nobody else really has.
I don't know. I'm really comfortable on it, and I just think I'm good on it. And if it looks good, I'll pick it only. So.
I mean, that's fair. That's a fair answer. So let's kind of look at this 2-0 and what it really means for the context of playoffs. So winning this one means that you will be moving forward in round 2. You've knocked down AoE Gold. I believe you are going to be facing up against FlyQuest challengers. So how do you feel about that matchup in particular?
I'm pretty excited because honestly we didn't have the best matches against them in the regular season, but I'm excited to play them where it like really matters, and I think we should show up. We've had lots of good practice, so I'm just excited for tomorrow's match.
Yeah, I mean, I am excited for it as well. Obviously, if you were able to win that one, that means you move forward. So I want to ask, how has it been? Like, your experience so far playing with Disguised as a team, with 3 of the players having won the spring split. How does it feel to kind of slot in with this team?
It was a little bit tough adjusting in the beginning, but I think I found like my voice on the team and just like my role. So it's been a smooth experience, I think.
Okay, and I kind of also want to touch on one thing. We were talking about this just before the interview. The Rumble pickup here for Fake God. You kind of highlighted it, I think, well. Maybe it was a little too good from you guys. So,
yeah, I think teams are probably going to be scared of it. I don't know if he's going to get it again, but you know he performed really well today, so I think teams will be scared of it for sure.
All right, what do you think is more important though, Fake God's Rumble or your Akali?
I mean I am undefeated on Akali. I guess he's undefeated on Rumble, but I think they're both equally important. But I think teams need to put respect on both. So.
All right, that's a fair answer. All right, and then kind of looking forward towards the entirety of playoffs, how confident do you feel with this, guys? We have talked about it many times where your team had a lot of 1-1 splits during the regular season, but towards the end of the season, you guys, I think, were 7-1 in your last 4 matchups. So is that kind of how you guys are feeling going into playoffs? Like, you guys feel really confident?
Yeah, I feel really confident. Our scrims are going well. We recognize a lot of patterns in our losses, specifically some champions we always lose against, and we figured that out. And honestly, I'm pretty confident. Like, everyone plays well on stage. There's no like stage nerves, so I'm just excited to play.
That's good to hear. And I'm gonna call out Disguised, your owner of the team, Disguised Toast. He did say that the goal here is not only just to do well in playoffs, but to win playoffs. How confident do you guys feel that you are going to be?
Hey, that's everyone's goal, okay?
I'm pretty confident. I think it's pretty dumb if you aren't confident, if you're playing not to win the whole thing. So,
good answer. Good answer.
I hope we don't let Toast down. I really think we can win the whole thing. So.
All right, who's going to be the biggest competition,
though? TLC or FlyC, obviously.
You got to choose one. I'm putting you on the spot. You've got to choose one right now.
I'll take it one by one. I think Fly might be the biggest competition.
Oh, okay. And you're facing them next, so why do you think they're going to be a bigger competition than TLC?
Because we play them next.
You know what? Fair answer. I'll give you that one, Young. All right. And before I let you go celebrate with the team, any shout-outs you want to give?
Obviously the Patreon, $5. You get a lot of stuff with it. It pays our salaries, so just subscribe, $5. And shout out Meech as well, playing on insanely high ping. I think it's like 450, so.
All right, well, thank you, Young. It's always good having you, and don't forget,
everyone,
subscribe to the Disguised
Well done.
Patreon. It helps out the players as well as subscribing to this channel here at LTCS_challengers. But Young, we will let you go celebrate with the team. I'm
450 ping, it's crazy,
Desrex
man.
and Cubby. We can round out the day. And gentlemen, it was a quick game, quick day. 2 zeros across the board for round 1. No variation from that one. So if we get to bring up the bracket, we can see how that actually leads over towards our next days here, Desrex.
And I am very, very surprised. I was expecting today to both games to go to 3. So to see the way these played out, FlyQuest performing phenomenally against someone that was their kryptonite, excuse me there. DSG performing up to expectations. Wow, I'm really just slipping on my words right now.
We need to win
It's
this
the
one.
end of the day, Dustin.
We
Don't worry.
need to
Why don't
win
we-
this
why
one,
don't we let Cubby mess
please.
up his words
No,
instead?
I want to mess up my words a little bit more. Because
You
I
can
am
do
very,
it,
very excited
DSG.
for the TLC versus Fear matchup.
You guys are the best.
I've obviously been very hyped up on Shochi, but that's his biggest competition right there to go against someone like Harry. So now I can stop stumbling and let Cubby stumble.
Also, a rematch of the 3rd versus 4th teams that we had in spring, as it was TLC and Fear that snuck into the top 4 and played the first match there. As I gotta say, I think today was a little bit less boring than yesterday, but still pretty boring. I'm waiting for the spice, man.
Surprisingly so.
Come on.
I'm gonna be right there with Cubby. I'm a little surprised too. I had all these plans
Okay.
for this new game show that was gonna make you both suffer.
But we did have that FlyQuest comeback, and that was a banger.
Yeah, it was.
That was pretty awesome.
It was. That was a good.
was.
That was a good game too. There, probably our closest game of the day, but that is going to do it. That is going to be all the games, and also in the bottom, we did see that EGC will be facing off against AoE for their tournament lives, as well as Maryville facing off against Wildcard. Only 2 of those teams will move forward. 2 teams will be knocked out and unfortunately have an early vacation. So before we go and celebrate anything, any farewells that you'd both like to give, let's start with you, Cubby.
I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know. Congrats to everyone who 2-0'd because they were supposed to give them seating.
All right, you suck at this. Eric, you
right.
try.
I want to give a give a farewell to Fate Gods Rumble. They showed it too early. We're never gonna see it again. Goodbye. It was an awesome champion. It was great while it lasted, but farewell.
Yeah, thank you. There we go. That's better. That's how you do a farewell, Cubby. All right, and we're going to bid farewell to everyone else. But before we do, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Turo. The LCS Challengers League is brought to you by Turo, the world's largest car sharing marketplace. Go over to Turo.com. You can find an awesome car for just about any occasion that you can rent. Make sure, Turo.com, check it out as well. Everyone else, we are going to end our day. We'll be back tomorrow for more action here in playoffs. And to top everything off, to end the day, we're going to raid the channel you see on your screen. Gamer Girl is who we're going towards. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.
No, Gamer Girl. Ooh, good win. Good win. What's happening? Crew versus Leviathan.
Here. Pings abound.
Oh wow,
All comes
top
down to
10.
these individual jewels.
These guys are playing for the last spot in Americas, right?
Anything to clear into the corner, a nade.
Does it really matter? They all get cleared by Fnatic anyway.
Satchel. Now on top, time running short. This is it. This is for everything. Klaus, he finds one. Tree fight taken. Melter, not enough damage to really bring them down, but everybody falling is left up to King. But he will go down. Crew pulling off the miracle.
No way Crew went 0-12 in regular season and then to win every single match for LCQ to qualify for the biggest event of the year. How? What? These guys are geniuses. It's like, hey, why don't we just chill for 4 months? Like, all these games don't really matter, right, guys? And they're right, it didn't matter. Good God. The cameraman's like, oh yeah, this is good. This is good. Oh shit, he's looking this way. Oh man, he's tearing up. NT. They'll be here. They'll be here next year. Well, the team won't be. I don't know if all the players would be.
When I think about some of the all-time runs that have been fun to watch, First of all, this is gonna feature
Lorenzo,
in the
thank you for the
history
12
books of
months.
Valorant.
And thank you to all the subs today. I know I
0 and
didn't
19
get to any
from
of
the regular
those. I
season.
apologize.
0 and 10 when you include Lock-in this year. Going on a run through LCQ. Unheard of. But also, when I think about teams that have gone on
I mean,
runs like that,
yeah.
I do think
Maybe they win champs off this.
champions that long time ago. I think of Zeta Division going on their run to third place, who have also made it through LCQ over in the Pacific Division. Oh yeah. This team is putting themselves among the names of Zeta, Giants, Na'Vi to escape. The off-season does not call just yet. No. You've got a chance.
Delta, thank you for Prime.
And to be honest, you've already done so right here.
Wow. Is Crew gonna win the championship? It's LCQ final on land. Bro, that was the LCQ final. Alright. Champs, right? Upcoming champion. And I guess this is all the teams. They've been decided. So what does the bracket look like? Oh, NACL final? Yeah, that would be on land. But I'm not sure if we can get all the players there.
Incredible scenes, genuinely incredible stuff.
You gotta love a good comeback story. Like Kim Kardashian.
Rivalry, but yeah, only when it comes to the server. And it's gonna be tough for the Leviathan guys to feel happy for the others, but my God, Leviathan actually looked like a team that was capable of winning this. Oh yeah. And that's somewhere that they can build from. They had a disappointing regular season, but they came out here and proved that they had what it took to be able to take down some of the other middle of the pack teams and go on a run. Defeated by a squad that's just been on such a heater. Yeah. You can't help but get behind them. Probably the greatest redemption run of all time in Valorant. Revitalizing careers. The stage certainly looks pretty in pink, doesn't it? How much it means to all of them. And the fans too, sticking ride or die the entire time, turning up to every match, and they get this. Keeping the arena electric. Loved it from beginning to end. This LCQ has been more than memorable. Let's send it down to the stage where Smix and Dryad are standing by with our LCQ winners.
Riot Games Arena, make some noise for your last chance qualifier champions. It is Crew! What an incredible moment. Melzer, please step down here. Let's have a chat because what an incredible run from everyone.
Hey, what's my manager doing there?
Team. There's no question that this was such a difficult journey for you and
Dude,
the boys. You
aren't you supposed to be working on
difficult loss, but here,
my personal finances right now?
Last chance qualifier, you had the hardest road, but you took down MIBR, Furia.
Yeah, for those who don't know,
now Leviathan,
the woman on the left is
you
my
are the last chance qualifier
manager.
champion. What does this mean for you? No hay dudas de que fue un recorrido bastante difícil en la fase regular.
She's treating it like a part-time job.
Yendo 0-9, pero sigues y sales adelante, derrotando a MIBR, derrotando a Furia, derrotando a Cloud9.
Wait, no, this is good. She is scouting out players for DSG next year. Sue, you genius.
Solamente, o sea, yo confiaba en que podíamos ganar este Last Chance. Estamos dedicándonos mucho, cada uno de los chicos, dedicando horas extra individualmente, dedicando mucha intensidad en los entrenamientos, estamos conectados de mejor manera. Entonces, no quiero sonar como un poco como ego, pero yo sabía que por el esfuerzo que estábamos haciendo íbamos a poder clasificar. Así que solo esfuerzo.
It's a dream come true, and it's something that we as a team, and I knew, I don't want it to come as an egotistical thing, but we knew that we were capable of doing this.
How does she have so many jobs? Doesn't she work for Poke as well?
to get
She's
that
like the
win.
Johnny
It was
Sins
such a miraculous
of
dream
esports.
run
She
that
does
you
it
have
all.
done, and we'll be seeing you at Champs, and I can't
Manager,
help but think this
agent,
must feel doubly surreal
caster,
for you,
host.
going up against Leviathan, the team that you were on before when you were at Champs. How does it feel different this time around walking with these boys? No, ahora llegas a Champions, pero tiene que ser un sentimiento un poco surreal, porque ahora es el equipo que acabas de derrotar es el Leviathan del que hacías parte. ¿Cómo se siente eso y el ahora estar del lado de Crew?
O sea, me siento feliz obviamente por ganar con mi equipo, o sea, con mi nuevo equipo, pero también a la vez triste porque muchos de los chicos, o sea, todos los chicos son mis amigos, no éramos solamente compañeros de equipo y solo queda agradecer. O sea, quería llegar a la final con ellos, uno de los dos teníamos que pasar, pero agradecer por todas las enseñanzas que me dejaron en Leviatán y a seguir dándole con mi equipo nuevo.
I'm happy to be able to win with my
Wait,
team.
Crew is
It's
sponsored by
also a
Disney?
sad
How did they
feeling.
get that?
On the other side, for
When do we
Leviathan,
get sponsored
all
by
of them
Disney?
are my friends, and only one of us could move forward. So I'm still happy to be able to move with my team, with my new team. Indeed, indeed. And Melzer, it's not just you who had an amazing performance. We also want to speak with Kesnit, the man, the myth, the deus, Kesnit, the man of Last Chance Qualifier. Dryad, take it away. Kesnit, the first thing I want to ask you is, you, throughout this Last Chance Qualifier, you talked about having rage and playing with anger to be able to make it all the way till the end. How was that rage playing today? Was it just making it to Champs, making sure they were not missing a single champion since you started playing Valorant? Kesnit, a través de todo lo que pudimos ver de ti, estabas hablando de que todas estas partidas las jugabas con rabia, con las ganas, con la motivación que tenías, que se te había quedado encerrado cuando estábamos viendo esa fase regular. ¿Cómo jugaba esa rabia el día de hoy para tomarle la victoria en contra del equipo de Leviatán del que fuiste parte antes y para moverte a ese Champions al que siempre has sido parte desde ese 2021?
Primero que nada, saludarlo a todos.
So Cloud9, which was 8-1 in regular season, didn't make it, but Crew, who were 0-9 in regular season, makes it? God damn.
Hoy día contra Leviatán entré un poquito apagado, pero después dije ya voy a sacar todo el último pasito y resultó maravilloso para mí.
It's just been about playing well and playing ranks. He's been playing ranked by himself, but he's been stepping up with that individual performance as well. And today, he feels that he felt like he was a little bit down when he started playing, but it was, leaving it all for this match. And my second question for you is, how does it feel to make it to Champions with that core of Crew that we've seen since 2021 with Clouds and NACL still part of the squad and you as well? ¿Qué se siente llegar a ese Champions nuevamente con ese core que ha sido de Crew desde que los conocemos con NACL y con Clouds?
Yo creo que es espectacular. Con los cabros siempre hemos confiado en lo que hemos tenido y nos hemos mantenido siempre unidos. Ahora también tenemos cosas demasiado juntas y yo creo que es fabuloso de nuevo sentir esa sensación que haya jugar un mundial.
It's fabulous. It's spectacular to be able to play with the guys and to have the same things that we had before, but even more that we've been able to build. So it's just a fantastic feeling. Indeed, we talk about that, Core. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. And we're going to be bringing over Klaus, because Klaus, my man, congratulations. What a phenomenal performance we've seen from you throughout the Last Chance Qualifier. I feel like this must feel so surreal and different. We've seen you at Champs before. Last time around, you were actually the in-game leader, but this time around, Crew have had a very different journey qualifying and becoming the champions here. Tell us what this moment means for you. Cuéntanos un poco de qué sientes ahora, sabiendo que ya has estado en Champions antes, pero es un sentimiento un poco diferente. Antes eras el IGL de Crew, ahora con una entrada diferente. ¿Y cuáles son tus sentimientos?
No, obviamente muy feliz por lo logrado, o sea, después de terminar una temporada 9-0 y ganar, hacer un lower run así como el que hicimos, fue increíble.
I still don't really understand why they combine NA and South America. Because it creates this weird thing where, like, I feel like NA teams don't pay that much attention to what SA is happening, and SA teams don't pay that much attention to what's happening when it's just NA team.
But what makes me the happiest is to be able to perform individually, to really show everybody who Klaus is.
It's the same for the Asia division too, right? It's like Pacific, whereas in League of Legends, it's like NA, Korea, China.
You've had such impact throughout all the games, especially here at the Last Chance Qualifier. Dryad, I know you had some questions for it.
Primero, bueno, has tenido un montón de impacto lo que está diciendo. And the question I want to ask you, Naxit, is this whole journey for Crew. You've been with this team in the highs, in the lows, and
South America is better than North America. That was not at all
that you're the best, as
the
everybody was
question.
saying for Crew, and to be closing
But thank you
out
for
the
your
match
input.
the way that you did against an opponent that you know. ¿Qué se siente para ti poder tomar esta victoria? Tú que has estado en los altos más altos de Crew, en los bajos más bajos, en contra de un oponente también que se conocían también.
Sí, no, la verdad es que si bien no estoy destacando con las estadísticas, estoy con un rol muy pasivo y me toca como apoyar el equipo por la espalda, cuidar la espalda de mi equipo, y estoy orgulloso de hacerlo y saber que mi equipo confía en mí y siempre dar lo mejor por ellos, porque tengo los mejores jugadores del mundo a mi lado, no tengo duda de eso. Y bueno, el rival de Viatán es duro también jugarles contra ellos tanto, porque venimos de la TAM jugando todos los años contra ellos como 5 veces al año, finales todo el rato contra ellos, lo mismo. Una vez nos empezaron a ganar, le empezamos a ganar de nuevo, nos ganaban de vuelta y estábamos así una tras otra. Entonces mucho respeto hacia los cabros y mucho cariño.
Playing on a match like this one against Leviathan specifically, it's difficult. It's a difficult match because we come from LATAM, and sometimes they win, sometimes we win, and it was going back and forth with the information that we had. But also myself having a more of a passive role, I'm just happy to support the team, not having the most active role, but being there, being behind, and giving that support that the team needs.
That is such a pivotal role, and you showed it on the server time and time again. Congratulations again. And last but not least, let's get Davies down on the floor to get his thoughts.
What a beautiful beard.
Davies, congratulations. It's amazing to see you and the boys be able to accomplish this. And for you specifically, this must mean so much. With this victory, this is actually your first time. You're going to be going to champs for the first time. But also, you are the first Colombian player to be able to do so. That has to feel extra special.
Primero que todo, felicitaciones, y esta victoria para ti debe significar muchísimo. Es la primera vez que vas a llegar a Champions, pero también es la primera vez que vamos a tener un jugador colombiano en ese Champions.
Is there League of Legends Wild Rift Esports?
Creo que también cabe destacar mucho eso, que o sea, desde que empecé siempre supe como mi potencial, y también mi objetivo siempre fue como abrir el camino a mi país y a la región.
Is it popular?
Entonces eso, muy feliz, un sueño hecho realidad, y ahora el siguiente sueño es ganarlo.
Not only the only Colombian or the only Colombian player, but also the only and the first Latin America North player that we've had, and that's been my main point since the beginning, being able to highlight and take and take my country in the region to move forward.
I'm sorry,
so
but
it's a dream country.
Absolutely, and what
this is not a sight I'm used to, like 5 players showing up on stage,
Colombia, I'm sure
and they all pressed out their phone.
Immensely proud. And last but not least, let's get Coach Adam down.
But I'm sure that's how they felt about gaming originally, right?
So stressed out.
Like, look at these nerds on their computers.
Time and time again,
But now
to
we're
be
taking
able
that to the next
speak
level.
With him between the games, but Coach Adam, congratulations. Finally, you and the boys have done it. When I first spoke to you at the beginning of this Last Chance Qualifier, you talked about how the team needed that reset. After such a difficult season, you got that reset. You took those 20 days off to 31 days of straight practice, then 5 straight matches in a row. You proved
Why couldn't this be
that this
DSG?
team is championship caliber. What does it mean that
Crew
now
went
you've finally done
0-11
it?
and qualified for champs. We went 0-11,
Tú estabas diciendo que necesitaban ese descanso, después de ese descanso
and
jugar
that was
esas
the end
5
of the
partidas
story.
consecutivas y poder llegar hasta esta instancia. Cuéntanos un poco qué se
If there was a
siente.
last chance qualifier for challengers, we could have done the same thing.
Muy grande para todos. Creo que no hay alegría más grande que viene después de estar tristes, de estar dolidos. Este es un grupo de jugadores que está acostumbrado a ganar, a representar a su región, y de un año para otro perderlo todo No sé, a mí me genera mucha admiración y mucho respeto por ellos porque como deportistas es muy difícil regresar de eso y mantenerte fuerte y contra un rival como Leviatán que no regala una ronda. Al final el Lotus no... Ellos sabían de que era nuestro y no nos querían dejar, no nos querían dar y no nos querían dar. Y ahora
He
lo pudimos
said
cerrar
this shit was
y yo creo que
easy.
es una felicidad
NA
más
is
grande
so
que
free.
cualquier otro equipo que se clasificó normal. Creo que este equipo está en un nivel de
Now he's just
plenitud
repeating that over and over
y
again.
de confianza en su trabajo que nunca creo que nadie pueda tener.
It's just happiness for everybody, and the main thing is, you know, playing against a Leviathan that even when we were on Lotus, they were not giving you, they were trying to not give you a round. They were holding on to it even though they knew it was Cruz, and then that was the way that it was going to go. It's also a crew team that they know and they're used to being the best. They're used to qualifying for
Look,
these
there's only
events.
2 American teams at champs. 5 European teams. All right, 2 Korean teams. Wait, but we made Valorant. Why do we have so little American teams? The only way we can get more American representation is if we split up Americas into North America and South America and double the amount of North American teams in franchising. And we invite, 5 NA orgs to be part of that. Maybe one of them is like this super scrappy young org that brought a lot of attention to the challenger scene, run by a content creator, right? I think that would really help NA.
Los Angeles, and they did just that. I can't believe it. It's just mind-blowing.
Again, it's off of 10 losses in a row. First round in lock-in, not a single win in the regular season. They were always so close, but it was never quite there. And here in LCQ, they make it the final spot at Champions without dropping a single series. It's got to be like one of the biggest recoveries in Valorant history for Crew.
No, for sure, and it's got to be such a special feeling for those players, man. Going from not getting any wins in the regular season, just completely messing that up, going into the LCQ and not dropping a single series. The most impressive part is they qualified from the upper bracket.
Yeah.
And they had the first 2 games, they were able to just get eliminated flat without a second chance, right? And they took it on the chin. They went through the pressure, went through the adversity, just kept winning, man. So inspirational.
How crazy is it that the closest they got to losing was that Furia game? They were down 11-7 on the 3rd map, and they grinded back and won that map 13-11. And here we are. And they are so deserving of this slot. It is unreal. They've proven to me they can play across 6 maps at a super high level. The calls from Melser were phenomenal all tournament long. Obviously, the star player in Kesnit putting up huge numbers. I mean, there's Klaus, the step up from him. They just...
All right. Cool. All right. I think that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you all very much for tuning in today. We'll be back because tomorrow we have the Valorant tournament. We're not playing in it, but we're going to be kind of like hosting it. We also have our DSG League of Legends watch party. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but like in between the games, I don't have anything to do. So I'm going to be watching my team in between the games. I'll probably bring it up to the OTV guys. But yeah, 2-0 today, pretty good. Tomorrow we play at 3 p.m. PST, where we take on our arch nemesis, FlyQuest. It's gonna be a big one. They did beat us 3-1 in regular season, so I'm a little nervous. Yeah. Thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate that. Is Scar streaming? He was streaming, but not anymore. I guess I will raid Danny Bobani. Yeah, I guess I'll read Danny. All right. See you guys tomorrow for the OTV tournament as well as the DSG NACL game. Ship swim. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Big thank you to all the donators, followers, subscribers. Appreciate it.